Today is March 27th, 2022. We're talking about the spike in gas prices, Biden's strategy on Putin, Disney's censorship, and the theory of the Great Reset. How's it going, everybody? This is Isaiah Martinez. Welcome to The Deep End. If you haven't already subscribed to the show, please feel free to do so. You can go on thedeependpod.com and find all of our various platforms, or you can follow us on social media. I want to give a special thanks to the homie Adrian for hooking it up on this new intro song. And it's going to get me hype every time. I already know that. So if anyone that you know is looking for studio time or for an instrumental, A Brook is your guy. Follow him on Insta by searching A_Brook, that's AYE_BROOK, and he will hook you up. Now, I want to introduce my guest. He is a longtime friend of mine, super funny, classy dude, and he's just been one to share some funny shit. Matthew Salcedo, thank you for joining me today, G.
Thank you for having me.
And my second guest, she is also a really good friend of mine, always good vibes, sharing a wealth of knowledge to those in her circle. Cynthia Banados, welcome to the podcast finally.
It's a vibe. Oh, for sure. Thank you thank you for inviting.
So I've been wanting to have you on the show for some time, and I'm glad that we've been able to work it out. I know you've been pretty active on your social media, and I knew this would just be fun. So I'm glad that this all worked. And Matt, it's your second time, your second appearance.
I know, right?
On
I
the
feel
pod.
special.
Yeah, dude, so I'm stoked.
Hopefully, I can be like your Joey Diaz. You know what I mean? Show up every couple episodes.
So I was asking you guys earlier because you guys didn't know each other before we came onto the podcast, and I'm gonna move this thing because it's like in the way. Can you help me move this?
Yeah.
Actually,
We're all watching you struggle. Let's just watch
a
a disaster happen.
Oh shit! Okay.
it's plugged in somewhere.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, yeah, I could go ahead and just unplug that puppy. Hopefully, it doesn't unplug the podcast.
Look, we're still recording, right?
Yeah, we're still recording. All right, cool. So yeah, I was telling you guys earlier, you guys haven't met before. You guys haven't met before, and I was actually kind of thinking maybe you guys might have crossed paths because you guys both have a following, and you guys are in Rialto, and Rialto's a small town. You guys haven't ever seen each other, maybe from a friend or a friend through Insta or through any social media or anything?
No, but like when I walked in the room, I was like, why does she? I mean, like you said, it is a small town, so we couldn't have seen each other at the market, maybe.
I'm pretty sure. I
Somewhere.
think in general, at some point you cross paths, and I see a lot of familiar faces, but I just can't pinpoint where. So
I'm not good with names. I'll remember her face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Of course. I think then again, I mean, I hacked off my hair 3 years ago, so some people are like, you look familiar, and I'm like, oh, probably because my hair was longer. I don't know. That's usually the case.
You also had the face change.
I had a face change. I had a facelift. Only 33, man.
Trying to say.
No, just kidding. So I'm glad that this all worked out. I'm glad that you guys are here. We're finally able to do this, and I'm excited to have you guys both on the show. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. We came here to talk about a couple of things that we've seen in the news, and just earlier this month, President Biden had banned imports of Russian oil, gas, and coal in response to President Vladimir Putin's vicious war of choice in Ukraine. And Americans all across the country have felt or been inflicted with this rise in gas prices. And right away, the memes go out, and, everybody's on on their funny shit, basically.
Memes are nonstop, man. There's someone making one right now.
I could swear you could be in the world could be ending, and somebody's going to put out a meme about it,
Immediately.
So I think that's hilarious. Did you guys see anything that stood out to you in regards to any funny shit about that?
Well, the funniest meme I saw, because you said about the world ending.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned that, and I saw, those those 4 African dudes that hold the casket.
yeah,
It was like
yeah.
the world and those dudes underneath it.
Right,
like
right.
it was like a meme would be made immediately.
Exactly.
But as far as gas prices now, I keep seeing the Biden sticker on all the gas stations.
Yeah.
Like I did that.
I did that.
You haven't
yeah.
seen that, dude? I've seen that everywhere.
Someone took it off of one of them. It was like off, and it just says that. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm like, someone got offended by that. Bro.
I did that.
I know, I did that.
That shit is funny though.
Yeah. The one that stood out to me was the one that was like, if they go any higher, I'm gonna have to yabba dabba do this shit. Just take that and just do it by foot or whatever.
Know what we should start doing right now? Let's start finding bikes like at yard sales, and then like just double up on the phone. Like buy it for $8, sell it for like 30, 40, 50.
Because just raise the prices on the bikes.
Well, let's think.
You're capitalist.
No, I'm just I know. I'm all about peace, but like I like money.
Biden's over here telling like the gas like companies or whatever not to take advantage of this moment and raise the prices, and we're over here maximizing on the bikes.
Yep.
Capitalist country.
I know.
Provide a need, provide a service.
It's exactly. You have to provide a service.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So do you think all this like do you think all of it is really as bad as people are making it out to be with the gas prices? I mean, I know it's I don't know if it's peaked historically what our peak was. I think in 2008 or 9 it went pretty high, but
peaked it. I think from what I've heard or what I've seen is like I think it's at the all-time high.
Do you think it's as bad as people are making it?
No, it's gonna get worse. I feel like it's gonna get worse by like midsummer.
Oh, really? So you think it's gonna get worse?
No, it's gonna get worse. I feel like it's easy gonna hit $7 to $8 midsummer. You know what I mean? All the they're gonna try to make their money at the highest. You know what I mean? Because in summer, gas prices always go up. It's already the highest it's ever going to be, so might as well get as much profits during the summer of the highest it's ever been. So I think it's gonna get worse before it gets better, if it gets better.
Well, I think I had seen it was like, speaking of memes, there was one that said gas prices are officially more than what was shown on like I Am Legend, because it was like 6 something. I was like, wow, that's true. But and this is just me, like as much as people gripe about the cost of gas, like, and I don't know. I told you this. I was like, isn't the solution just to make more money so that way it doesn't hurt your pocket?
I see. That's a good point. You know what? And as far as much as we can complain about it, I also drive a hybrid. So
same, yes. I drive a Honda Insight, so I'm like my gas expense literally only went up like $10.
Yeah, I work from home, so I'm hybrid working at home.
You're like I'm
one day a week. So
you only go. Oh man, that's nice.
Great.
So I have a hybrid schedule.
Nice.
Yeah. See, I work down the street from work, or like, I live right there. Like, it takes 10 minutes. I work at a school.
Okay.
So it's never really hurt me unless I'm driving around a lot. And I do, but even then, it's like I personally cannot complain because I have a hybrid. And there's some people that they drive trucks. Like, I have a stepdad. He has a big old truck. He lives in Texas. Everyone in Texas has a truck. So, but diesel is also much more cost effective than it is here. And he's making good money. Yeah, it hurts his pocket, but he has the money to be able to drop, on gas. And he's also smart with it, where he's just like, this is going to get me from A to B. However, I need it for such and such things. And if I knew it was going to be expensive, then I wouldn't have bought it. So there's that whole mentality of like, do you know where your money's going? Do you know, like, is this going to benefit you? And if that's the case, if you're griping about it, then the solution is either to get more, make more money, or buy, I don't know, a hybrid car.
So let's look at the pros. Basically, people are gonna stay kind of local. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that might help the local mom and pop type of places. Depending, people are gonna be like, fuck that. I'm not gonna go to the mall in Tarzana or whatever. Let's go to that mom and pop place. That's like 15 minutes away. Also, I don't know if it's just me, but have you noticed like people who are driving trucks right now are driving kind of like pissed off? I mean, I would be too. Like
they're driving faster on the freeway.
I see these trucks fucking zooming and driving like a fucking bat out of hell. It's like, what? I would try to get to my destination as soon as possible too. You don't know if you're gonna be able, to make it.
Yeah. Did you guys hear about they're thinking about doing checks or sending out checks to the taxpayers?
That's fucking retarded.
Think about that?
like, where's this money coming from? Like, that's kind of where I'm.
Like, what do you mean? There's
So-
okay, so I didn't get into that.
Okay, so like because people are feeling it by the tax hike, and about 22 states or so are good enough where they can help, their residents. They're considering, in order to kind of bring relief for that, to cut checks for the American people. But they're like earlier this month, the amount I heard was $400. $400 per
Okay.
taxpayer. They're thinking about doing that instead of, because you know how there's gas taxes.
Yeah.
They're thinking about, instead of cutting the gas tax, or maybe they might suspend it, but they want to give an actual check to the taxpayer, and they can do whatever they want with it for relief. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys think that?
I think it's not enough. It's too little. It's dumb. And people who don't even have a car are gonna get it, but just because they're a taxpayer. So it's like, realistically, where's this money coming from and where's it going? I mean, it's just because I can't speak on it because I'm not too sure, but I just don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough. $400. I mean,
I think it's just gonna make everything continue to go up. Like, we're already in inflation. There
Yeah.
were all kinds of like people getting furloughed on what is it, EDD. They were getting money from the government for not working. Like, that was our money that we funneled back to the public, which did benefit some people. Well, it benefited all of us. We're like, oh, cool, I got a $1,200 check. And it was supposed to bring money back to the economy, which it did. But at the same time, I'm thinking, what was the point of having that extra money? You were supposed to do something with it. So I feel like that right now we're actually paying for it because everything's up. Everything's expensive. Quotations expensive because everything went up. And then I feel like if they are going to move forward with that, or they did, right?
They are just still in talks, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, still in talks with it, but it's like New Jersey and California are the two that are considering it.
Yeah. So in my case, I'm like, well, things are going to continue to rise.
like, I had I don't want to get sued, so I'm not going to say where I work or I get
I
fired.
work in a place.
I work at a place where it's a casino. It's a
Okay.
local casino. Let's say that.
Okay, that narrows it down.
Basically, we got like maybe a 3% raise, but I brought it up to like management. So I realized with the whole personality test and like things I've taken, they're like, yeah, you probably just should be your own boss or some type of business entrepreneur.
Dude.
Because my most management wherever I work, I can't say it's like it's not that they dislike me, it's that they can't in a sense intimidate me. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay,
they like
okay.
most companies, corporations want yes men, right? So I went up to management. I was like, hey, bonuses are coming up. The yearly raise is coming up, right? And it's gonna be some dog shit like at 3.5% or 2%, like not even 3% of a raise. And I'm like, inflation's gone up 7%. So you did not do anything for me at all. And management didn't know what to say.
Did not
They
bring
just,
up inflation.
You work for me.
no, I'm just, well, technically, I mean, it's sovereign land. So, I mean, they could do what they want. So I'm like, you guys are not helping out. I mean, it sounds nice. Oh, we're going to give you a, 2%, 3% raise. I'm like, yeah, but inflation 7%. So
I think when you know your worth, you can negotiate that stuff. Like, I'm thinking the worst they're going to say is no. So why not just ask? And right now they're trying to retain so many people. Then they're actually going for it. They're like,
You know
we'll
what?
give you this.
And if you don't, you find yourself there for 10 years with barely any increase. That's what I've noticed. People who are not
it's like
saying
a
nothing
quarter increase.
get cheated big time.
yeah.
You get cheated. I've seen it in my personal company, and that's why I'm constantly like, I always tell myself a rule, like
Every
in
year.
2 to 3 years. Yeah. Even
Where's my money?
even a year. Yeah. Like
Where's my money?
if I'm not either growing, like developing, like as far as my interpersonal skills and all that stuff and my skills, or I'm not making money, then what are we doing here?
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. Something has to be growing or moving up in order for me to continue to be there.
I get.
Do you feel like, and this is a valid question because we have people that are upset that they're not making enough money. realistically, we live in a world where you can literally make money doing anything. There's DoorDash, there's Lyft, there's Uber, there's all kinds of ways to, make something lucrative. I have a friend who, at the peak of the pandemic, she was supposed to release her jewelry line, and then, market took a turn, all this stuff. Well, that actually worked to her benefit because she was able to promote her jewelry, one, at a more cost-effective price compared to when she first started. It was supposed to be for like higher clientele. But she saw it as like, well, where's there like a service of like, where can I give that sense of service to people? So she did that, and she promoted herself on social media. And the beauty of social media is like, it's literally free advertising. So now she has the high clientele to be able to pursue her jewelry business. Awesome. And she's thriving. Like, she's doing great things. But so I say that because she found that opportunity to build a business during tough times. And people, there's so many ways on how you can you can bring cash in. So I get for me personally, I get upset when people get upset that they're not making enough. And I'm like, if you really delve into your finances, is it that you're not making enough, or do you not know where it's going? So
I know where mine's going.
Yeah.
Food.
Yeah, see? Food, whatever, miscellaneous
it's
things.
It's crazy
you buy.
how it adds up, huh? Because at first it's like, oh, it's just a little here and there. But then you look at it, that adds up.
Yeah.
Very fast.
And so I feel like when you know how to make money and you know what to do with it, then you're not griping about how much gas is or how much inflation is. I see it as like, okay, well, if you know your worth, you know that there's an opportunity out there for you, then just capitalize on that. So, it's not...
Even just looking at what's reoccurring, that's deducting, because I struggle with that. Like, even just going to look at it, I think that's worth the time to do, because after a while we forgot what we subscribe to, and there's different things that are just pulling out money like constantly.
Yeah,
I think there's like one. There was an app I created for the church. It's still deducting, and we don't even have the church anymore. So I'm like, I gotta go. And it's like $4, but it's $4.
Yeah. It's $4.
It's $4.
That's 400 pennies, man.
And I say that just because, like, for an example, because I'm sure there's things like that is deducting out of our accounts or whatever.
Yeah, and you don't notice it.
Yeah.
Or you don't want, or you choose not to. There's people that do that too. They're like,
I know it, and
the one that I know that gets me is, I used it for a while. McGregor came out with his own app, like a fitness app. And it was like $100 for a year. Yeah. And I did use it. I used it consistently for maybe 3 months.
Yeah.
And then I stopped. And I think it was like at the beginning of this year, they just $100 went through. I was like, what the fuck was that? Ooh. And I looked and I was like, oh, that's right. Because like when you first sign up for it, they're like, it re-ups once a year, $100 for the entire 12 months. And at the time, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And then you're like, it hits and you're like, oh, fuck. That was $100.
Yeah. Yeah, so even subscriptions like that, that's a good point to bring up. Because like now it's not just gas prices alone, it's also because we talked about inflation, it's also the price of everything has gone up. You go to the market, prices have gone up.
Eggs have gone up. Like I
might as well shop at Sprouts. It costs the same as going to Stater Brothers.
Costco. I buy it in bulk. Buy in bulk, man. That's all I do.
Yeah, I'm still with Costco. I love Costco.
So
that's how I know you're an adult. Like at a certain time, like there's people I talk to at work, and I was like, "Do you have a Costco membership yet?" And they're like, "No." I'm like, "How old are you?" They're like 23. It's like, "You gotta grow up, man. Just fucking bite the bullet."
Here, just do it.
So here's some ridiculously overpriced items that we keep paying too much money for.
Oh shit.
Okay, we're gonna start with number 15. Number 15 is college textbooks, marked up 40%.
Ridiculous.
Number 14, mattresses, 50% markup.
What?
Really?
No way.
13, cosmetics, 78% markup.
Cosmetics, like what do you mean, like makeup?
Like beauty?
Yeah.
Dang.
78%.
My money's going there.
My money's going there. I was like, oh yeah, money's
So you're
going
telling
there.
me I shouldn't invest in makeup?
Yeah, so 78%. Number 12, airport food. I never touch.
Oh, that's disgusting. I don't buy that. No.
200 to 300%.
I drink before I go on a flight, but that's about it.
Yeah, they rape you there. No, I don't want to use that word, but they get you.
They do.
I don't want to use that word.
Like now they do.
They get you.
We're gonna go ahead and edit that.
Yeah, I know.
First video.
We're gonna go ahead and edit that out.
Number 11, printer ink. 300%.
So
Oh.
where can I get printer ink if it's not marked up? Should I just go steal it from an office?
That's valid because at my school there was actually ink shortage.
Oh,
So there was a
really?
point where like teachers were trying to be like, do you have ink in yours? Can I use yours?
What?
Yeah, there was a whole ink shortage at my school in Rialto.
Wow.
know
Yep.
about that.
And don't
Wow.
even get me started. They have the budget to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a shortage.
Wow.
Yep. I believe it.
Dang.
Damn.
And on top of that, like I was ordering something for work through Staples, I think, and there was like a backlog of paper. Like, so there was like a paper shortage too.
What?
Yeah.
Is
So
that
I was
enough
like,
trees?
dang.
Everything like, okay, so crazy statistic. I'm not sure if it's 100% accurate, but like they say people who become like truckers, if you become a trucker, there's like a 99% chance that you will not like retire a trucker. Like you'll do it for like a year or two and then like just stop.
Interesting.
So it's like,
Yeah.
but you got to think like we rely on
Mhm.
truckers. We really do.
That makes the world go round.
And I kind of like, you know, it makes it like sometimes now, like the older I get, I was like, yo, okay, let me not be an asshole to this truck and just let him go ahead because he's delivering goods that we need daily. You know,
That's deep, bro. I'm over here still cutting them off.
Let me through. Yeah.
That's deep. I didn't. And then whatever happened to those like they were trying to get those self-drive trucks where they just drive themselves.
I think
Is that a real thing?
I think California is trying to pass a bill by like 2030 something that they want most like trucks to be electric.
How
Which
is that gonna work though?
I don't
Like,
know. Like
Maybe a Tesla
California-
truck.
How is
Yeah,
that?
well,
I would be
like-
if like I would think that truck could get jacked. I don't know. There's just nobody
Like
driving.
what was that movie? That movie Logan. You know, like how you saw those trucks driving on their own, like in the middle of the countryside. Like
that's crazy,
I wouldn't
yeah.
be surprised if that happened. Nobody wants to be a trucker. I mean, people want to be a trucker because it's lucrative. It's good money.
A lot
It's like
of them are
80
subcontractors.
to 100 grand a year.
Yeah.
Like
My
and
neighbor's
that's
a trucker.
that's average. Is 80 to 100 grand a year. But I mean,
In California, that's nothing though. For a family of four, 100 grand.
Yeah,
It's
I
really
know.
not like with
In
taxes and all that.
California.
Yeah.
In California, yeah, right.
you need a
Yeah.
family of truckers.
Yeah.
That's like I would watch that show TLC. Like
The whole
Like,
family.
fun fact: in San Francisco, if you're making 100 grand, you can apply for food stamps
what the
because it's so expensive. Just saying, it's not a lot.
I knew it was bad in Palo Alto. I went years ago. I went for like a cousin's graduation. Like graduated from Stanford. I walk into like a Rite Aid, and like a 2-liter soda was like almost $6. I was like, what the?
Like, am I in
This is like-
Hawaii? Because
Yeah,
everything's expensive
I was
there.
like, what? This is like 2008, 2009. Like,
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I mean? I
yeah.
was like, why is it so fucking expensive? Like,
Yeah.
it's wild.
wild.
It's
Yeah, that
it's
is.
expensive up there.
I'll continue down the list. We got number 10 is coffee. I think we knew that one. 300% markup. Number on that was another meme I saw too about that. They were like,
I'm never gonna stop drinking coffee.
there was a thing about that. They were like, you're mad about the gas prices, but you buy Starbucks for $6 or something like that too. I was
Yeah,
like,
you got a good point.
That's true.
So
yeah.
go ahead.
okay. I felt like you wanted to say something about that.
No, I was just
but-
thinking, like, reading down this list is like, okay, so we should invest in a makeup, like
Oh, like all
makeup
these things
place, right?
because, yeah.
It sells makeup, but it's the same. It's a coffee house at the same time. Like,
Get your facial here, and then get your coffee after.
that kind of would work low key though. I feel like
yeah. Oh, keep going down the list. We can make our own. We'll start something. We'll invest.
number 9 salad bars.
Who the fuck?
What?
Yeah.
Soup Plantation's out of business. How?
Salad
I'm
bars.
confused.
Sizzlers. Remember when
300
Sizzlers was good?
Yeah, so this was
When it was good.
When we were kids, like,
yeah, but then it felt sad. Like every time I go there, I felt like I was like in Russia or something. I felt
Why?
sad. I don't
Wait.
know, just
I never went to Sizzlers. Like I could honestly say I've
Really?
never went there.
dude, I remember going to Sizzlers when I was like 6 or 7, and that was like, it was cool. Like,
was
I
a
was
big
like,
deal.
it was a big deal. Like, and the quality was good. And then one day out of the blue, I went back. I was like, yo, why does this look like dog shit? Like,
Yeah.
and that was only like 3 years later. Like, wild. Okay, so
yeah, it was
salad
just,
bars.
it felt
Salad
like
bars.
it felt like one or two people were holding it together or something. Like that's how it felt to me.
Fucking Sizzlers. All right, go on.
Number 8, hotel minibar. I think we all probably figured that one out. I never touched the hotel minibar.
So last time I went to
Oh
Vegas,
no, that's expensive.
I went to Vegas. My ex, she opened the fridge and she like moved everything out of the way to put like our stuff in the fridge, And so when I
Don't
went to
tell
go
me they
check out,
charged her.
yeah. So when I went to go check out, they're like, yeah, it's gonna come out to this. I was like, wait, what? They're like, yeah, it says like you purchased like all these items. I'm like, no.
Censored.
But the lady was like really sweet though. I was like, no,
What do the bottle of waters go for? Like $100?
it's
there,
fucking
or
ridiculous.
Is it
I think
$100?
maybe a 2-ounce like Jack
Yeah.
Daniel goes for like
$300.
$50.
What? No
gonna say,
way.
Yes, and she moved all of them. like,
Dude,
so,
I don't even look at it. Like I just like I
No.
pretend like I don't even see it. Like,
I see
that's
it
how
and
bad
I'm
it
just
is.
like, nah. But all that stuff's censored. Like, so that you could get that at Total Wine for like $3-4.
yeah, it's true. I
Dang.
love Total Wine.
That's wild.
If you would have said
Super wild.
Bevma, I would have judged you so hard.
Ah,
right now.
that's not me.
So number 7, diamonds, 300 to 400%. Number 6, caskets.
Oh, that's
Caskets.
Caskets, 400%. Yeah,
From
dude,
everyone,
that's so
You-
crazy, dude.
from everyone dying. That kind of makes sense.
You know what? That's an industry. Maybe we should open up a mortuary coffee house because people are gonna keep dying
mortuary.
people are
By
gonna
the way,
keep dying.
here's coffee.
It's just I didn't. Yeah, that caskets.
Number 5, EpiPens, 500%.
Really?
What are those?
Yeah, you have an allergic reaction. You need to not die.
Oh, got it. Okay.
500%. Number 4 is brand name clothes, 500 to 1,000% markup. That's
I'm just
crazy.
gonna create my
That's
own
why I go to
clothing line.
Costco.
Yeah, fuck, I love Costco. I have a lot of
Yeah.
Costco clothes. Like,
Yeah,
do
clothes do get you though too. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I'll see something I like, and I'm like, why is this shirt like?
$40.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes even like 60. Like
it just
it's
has
crazy.
has a dude riding a horse in a little spot.
I think you gotta know where to shop though, because I buy all the deals. Like I always look for sales. I never buy
Marshalls.
anything full price. Yep.
Marshall's is good.
I fucking love Marshalls. Yeah.
yeah, Marshall's good. What else? I feel like there's some other places too.
Ross is all right.
Oh yeah.
More of a Marshalls guy myself though.
Marshalls is
Costco's a
nice.
shit. I have like a lot of shorts, a lot of my like sweatpants, like workout clothes. Costco.
What about any places online that you just get through like e-commerce? Like
You know what? I don't like. I don't shop online as much as like most people I know.
Yeah, because I shop on Shein a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, is that how you say it? I look at it and I'm like, I'm not.
Some people say Shein. I say Shein.
Sheen or
Yeah,
Shein
it's all
or
from China.
Shine. And I just I'm like, I don't know how to say that, so I'm not gonna say it.
I've never seen that before. Okay.
Yeah, that's where a lot of girls shop. Just FYI.
Noted.
Number 3, Beats by Dre, 1,000%
Shit.
markup. Number 2, movie popcorn.
I believe
Hey,
it.
but I love movie
Yeah, I don't
popcorn.
buy
It
it,
hits
but-
different though. It hits different for some reason. I love movie popcorn. My friend Liz is obsessed with movie popcorn
How long have we been overcharged for movie popcorn?
since forever.
Forever.
Since,
right?
I remember
since
the combo
movies
meal.
came out.
Yeah, the combo meal was like $10, and that was a lot. And now it's like 25.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Like I
Wait,
remember.
what movie theater are you going to?
I usually, well, it depends. I go to AMC or go to Renaissance. Renaissance, you can just get that big old thing of popcorn, but you
Yeah.
can't bring it to the theater.
Yeah.
Have you been? Well, obviously you've been to Cinemark,
Oh
right?
yeah, I love it.
I love that.
Yeah, I love
It's
it
so
a lot.
close.
Yeah.
I'll leave.
Convenient.
I'll leave for my movie like 5 minutes before it starts.
It's like I'm surprised there's no like massages given at that point. 'Cause it's like it's like there's everything there.
That's nice.
I was gonna say about the movie popcorn. Like I know I've been overcharged for that, and it's what's funny when I first felt it was like when one time I went with my friend and they were like, "You buy the ticket," or no, I'll buy the tickets, you buy the popcorn and stuff.
You're like, yeah, it's the same
And
price.
I'm like, yeah, cool, I got that. Yeah, it's like way more like all the opposite.
He gypped you, huh?
Yeah. Like basically, ended up spending more because of the popcorn and stuff. So that was like the first time I remember feeling that. But like, I think at this point we all know, but we pay for it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Do they let you just bring in anything you want though, right? Like you could bring in like bakers or
No.
whatever you want.
I still hide it. Like I'm always the designated
Good
like
old-fashioned.
purse person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, hide this. Oh yeah. So and they won't check unless it looks obvious, but they know.
Have you guys ever like brought in something like pozole or something?
The
like
dopest shit I did, I brought In-N-Out. So
Gross.
it was back when it was like at the Edwards by the mills.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So we went there, and I was like, you know what, I want In-N-Out. So we stopped at In-N-Out. I'm like, you're gonna go in, you're gonna open the side door, and I'm just gonna walk in. I already have a ticket, mind you. It's just like I'm gonna bring in my In-N-Out. But the looks, this is before it was normal for people to like have like food. Like everyone had brought candy and snacks, and
Yeah.
and I just fucking pulled out this like
The
double, like fucking just much. You could hear the wrapper. And shit.
So loud.
I got some dirty looks that day, but everybody, it was like dirty looks, but people were like,
I brought in
Like,
like alcohol for a friend, like a can,
yeah.
and I
Oh,
had my
yeah.
sweater over it, and yeah,
That's deep.
tricks.
I had a friend one time. They said that they brought spaghetti.
What? Who does
Are
that?
you serious?
who was this?
I forgot what they told me. They put it in a bag. Like
Oh,
a
I fucking
Ziploc-
love it.
a Ziploc bag, and they had it in
That's
the
the most
bag.
Italian shit I've ever heard.
Who does this?
Oh shit.
I was just like, really? That's
So
crazy.
cool. That should be like a thing. Like,
Tough
who could bring the
times.
wildest food into the one
Yeah.
and just have fresh sushi? Like,
From,
make
like,
your own
Nobu?
sushi. Bring your
Yeah.
own sushi stuff.
Yeah, make it right there.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I'm dead.
I don't know. I'd watch like like I'd be interested to see what people could bring in there. Last one. What do you guys think? The last markup.
Well,
overpriced
I
thing?
was gonna guess coffee, but nah. Yeah,
Is it
you're
gasoline?
Should be, yeah.
Actually, prescription drugs.
Ooh,
5,000% markup.
I don't
Damn,
know
that's
because I don't
sad.
take anything,
Sad.
but I can
That's
imagine.
sad.
Yeah,
Sorry, I didn't mean to end it.
Damn.
that's
We
sad.
can't make
Anyway,
We
I
can't make
know.
any quips about that one. It's like, oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
It just fades to black.
Emotional damage.
Seriously, that's the only thing you can do with that. Yeah, but it just shows you like we do get gypped from all sides from 360. Like we get hit from all sides.
So-
Those are just things that we just for our pleasure, But other things would be like rent. Rent went up 5%, tuition 2%. We talked about like milk, meat 11%, 14%. So just all those things in general hit us from all sides. It's kind of one of the reasons why they wanted to send a check, because I think they realized that really the gas, because when the spectrum of people who use gas, like you have those who might be making better money, who maybe drive hybrids or electric cars, Teslas. So if they cut like the gas tax, what does it really do? Like as far as impacting them, it helps maybe the middle, but then in some senses it doesn't help everybody. It's really just maybe the lower middle class, because then the very low end of it, people don't even have cars,
That's true. Yeah.
So they were trying to figure that out, and they were thinking maybe a check might be better to help people that get hit from all
I
angles.
think,
but
I mean, like throwing money at people was, I guess,
They won't know
The
what to do
easiest
with it if
fix.
they're not used to having money.
yeah,
Which-
might spend it on J's or something.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Which it always goes back to like why, like the lack of financial literacy in this country and like education in general. Like the older I've gotten, the more I've looked into it. I'm like, why, and then the more I find out, it's like, why weren't we taught this as like kids? You know what I mean?
Why isn't there a class on this? Or
Yeah.
And
why?
like to add to that, like as kids, this generation of kids, they're so entrepreneurial minded, and they're actually more open to learning how money works. So
Good.
like we, because I'm in the insurance industry, so we show people how to like save money, make money, how to lower the impact of taxes. And I've taught basic financial concepts to my students. They're mind blown. And then they like, no shade, they're like, oh my God, my mom spends a lot of money. You need to talk to her. They will tell you.
Kids
like,
are throwing the fucking dirt.
yeah, I'm like, oh dang, yeah. So I had a student. I got her a book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, which talks about
It's a
like
good book.
growth, safety, all that stuff,
Good
what to
book,
do with
yeah.
your money. And it was one for teens. It was like so simple for her to understand. And then like the next day, her mom was like, oh, thank you so much for like getting that for her. Like, so my whole point in sharing that is they are actually much more open to understand these things. Not to say that we don't. It's just for some people that they say they want to be financially literate, but they also, those are the same people that don't, they still fall into the same like spending habits. So it's also like, what's your behavior with money? Like what generational curse are you carrying with money to still get you to where you're at? Because if you're making the same decisions you did 5 years ago now, that's the exact reason why you're at where you're at with your money.
That's true.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I definitely see like even now, like people that are like our age, I think we're even slow to get into like the newer stuff. Like I know we were going to talk about like NFTs and like
You don't
crypto
have
stuff.
Bitcoin, bro?
I do.
I'm just kidding.
I do, but I feel like it's still kind of slower. Like not everybody does, you know? So, and because there's a lot of opportunity there's, you know, but you have to also be literate though, to know what you're doing at the same time. And so maybe people don't jump into that because they don't know.
I
all
feel
that,
you shouldn't invest, well, especially something that's as new as NFT, like, you know, Coinbase and NFTs and Bitcoin and Ethereum and all that. You shouldn't invest more than you can afford. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just in a sense like gambling. So is the stock market.
Right.
So you got to know how to gamble. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
gamble, think of it as like gamble what you can. You know, and think about money spent more for entertainment than it is, you know, I'm going to get all this back. And I was like, you know what? I could afford like $100 worth of Bitcoin today. So I'll buy $100 a day. So I happened to jump on the whole Bitcoin thing right as the as a COVID thing happened. It just kind of worked out that way, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And just COVID happened, the Wuhan thing, and I think Bitcoin dropped all the way back down. It was at like 50. It dropped all the way down to 19, and I bought maybe a couple $100 worth. But because of that, and I bought it when I did, it's like I'm always gonna be in the green with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So yes, but like it all goes back to you invest what you can afford to invest and what you can afford to lose, because it all could just disappear.
My coworker, she was telling me that her family member, I guess, bought Bitcoin early when it barely like started. I guess I'm like, what? Because he ended up going like the stock in that rose high, so he ended up, I think, cashing out on that. And she said that he quit his job, moved to Washington D.C. I guess. I think it's Washington D.C. I'm not sure if it's Washington now, but anyways, moved and like spent all the money. And,
Really?
yeah, went like flat broke.
Oh damn!
So just proven to our point, you know,
Literacy.
yeah, it's important on how we spend that money.
And it like goes back to like that's what the wealthy know how to play the money game. They know how to like work it to their advantage, not illegally. Some do, you know, they'll, whatever they do.
They
morally,
legally
ethically, right?
show you how to not pay your taxes. Oh no, like so I had one of the best things that happened to me as a kid. I mean, I haven't taken advantage of it yet. Not as a kid, but as a teenager, I had a teacher of mine. He's like, as soon as you can, incorporate yourself. He's like, because I'm a guy who lives in a company house, who drives a company car, and everything I pay for, or like most things I spend money on, gas, all that, it's just a tax write-off at the end of the year, and I get the money back. And I haven't done it, but that's what kills me about myself. Like I've known that, and I just still haven't done it. I'm like, because I don't have a business.
Yeah,
So it depends.
This is all I got.
Sorry. So my cousin, for example, and he's also the kind to be like, he judges the wealthy for not paying taxes. And I say that because they actually do, because it's a write-off. The reason why Tesla, these tech companies left Salinas or whatever, like, you know, in the Bay, they left to take their business to Texas. They were actually taking a bigger hit on taxes. So when they left, that actually is what caused everything to rise, because now it's still falling on the middle class to pay for everything. So my cousin was upset about, one, they're not paying taxes. And then two, he has to pay a lot of taxes, but his CPA told him, if you like create an LLC, you can use that to write off things. But because he didn't feel right doing it, he's still paying like up the ass on taxes. And I'm like, you're literally giving like a legal way to avoid that, but you're choosing not to. So it goes back to like, you can have the information to do it, but why aren't you utilizing it? Is it guilt? Yeah. Because you're not paying taxes, but everyone else is doing it. Everyone has the ability to do this stuff, but some of them are just choosing not to because it's too good to be true.
I don't know. I like my morals when it comes to like not ripping corporations off. Like I don't feel bad for corporations whatsoever, because everything is like insured or taxable and all that. So like if I could rip off Target, oh well, you know what I mean? They can afford it.
I had one coworker got so upset at me about it was right when that like the Amazon stick came out and you could like stream movies and all that.
Yeah.
Right? Man, he got so upset at me because I was talking about it like that I got one. He's just so upset. He's like, no, you're ripping them off. That's how they make money. I was like, I understand that. But I'm like, but you should chew this guy out because he just sold it to me. Like I'm just a buyer here. This
Yeah.
guy's the one dishing it
I
all
was just
out.
being a capitalist and I bought what I wanted.
I'm
This
only
guy's the one,
smoking the
like,
crack.
hustling.
I'm not dealing the crack. Okay.
Yeah.
This guy's right here is the bigger fish you want to fry. But
Good.
it's funny because his attention's still focused on me, which is so funny. So like back to like I guess the gas prices and stuff. What do you guys feel about like going electric? I know you said you had a hybrid car. Do you think that is something people should really try to pursue, or that we should push more on that as a priority?
I
Or
don't know.
What do you
Like,
guys think about that?
a couple years ago, I was totally on the, I guess, like green side. Like everything should be electric, but I've kind of gone away from that because, regardless, we're still going to be mining precious, like for solar and for batteries, all that. Like, no matter what we do, we're kind of fucking up the earth anyway. So I think it just has to be a balance. Like my car right now is a hybrid, you know what I mean? It still runs on gas, but it has a fucking battery.
Yeah.
So I just paid off my car in February,
Congrats.
and it broke down in March. Literally on time, like, here's your pink slip. By the way, I'm not working anymore. And so all my tax money this season that came, I had to spend on fixing. So
Yeah.
like what went out on it was it's not it's not called an alternator for that type of car. It's because it's a hybrid. It's called like a managing system or something. That went out. And
Super expensive part, right?
well, the thing is, it's back ordered. Everything's down, but like even dealerships around here can't get brand new ones.
Oh, damn.
So brand new costs like $3,000. I got mine rebuilt by a good friend of mine, Jesse. He has a shop in Ontario. If you guys ever need help on like a hybrid car,
Oh, for sure. Yeah, okay.
I know a guy, and but he totally helped me out. It's a really, really sweet guy. But a rebuilt one cost me $13, and it's just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I was just happy it wasn't the main battery. The main battery would have cost me like $6,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's where it comes to, like, you have to ask if they're trying to switch over to green energy, then how are they going to make it affordable to, like, the everyday person that's used to having a full engine car? That's
true.
my question. And to me personally, I feel like there's some kind of, like, political agenda behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
There's
there's no such thing as green energy. There is fossil fuels. Like, you need fossil fuels. And it actually takes more energy to create a green car than to just make a normal car.
You're spitting facts right now.
Yeah. So like same like recycling and stuff, you're not doing your part. You're making the world worse, if not the same. So like, where's the money gonna go to like make it cost effective for, the average person to be able to afford a hybrid car or give value to it for them to be like, yeah, I probably should.
Well, because like right now, even Teslas, like I was mentioning, usually people have more money, have Teslas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not right now affordable.
It's
at
not
least.
affordable yet,
No.
but maybe in a couple of years.
Yeah, from my understanding, years ago they had said that by 2030 they were gonna try to make like the average car at least a hybrid. Like everyone's gonna drive hybrids by 2030.
That I don't have a problem with, but it's always been something, like, as far as my personality goes, like, I hate being told what to do in general. You know what I mean? I have a problem with authority. Always have been. So they tell me I have to do this. It's a mixture. It's a perfect storm. Like, I'm like the middle child. So it's like, you tell me not to do this, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? So it's
I get
just,
you.
and so I hate when things become mandatory. So anything mandatory, I'm like, why?
So if they mandate like you can't drive a fossil fuel car anymore,
I'm going to drive a
You're gonna
Camaro
probably drive a
just to
Camaro.
piss people off.
Just move to Texas, you'll be fine. Just move there.
oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
They drive
the
Camaros.
I think but that's me though. That's like my own issues. Like, well, I'm a walking red flag, man. Like, don't tell me, don't mandate anything on me. I'm not gonna do it.
All right. So, okay. So that was a good question. Do you guys currently have to like drive daily at all? Like right now?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
I drive daily.
It's not too far of a commute though, right? For you?
No, not at all.
10 minutes, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I drive like 15 minutes away.
15 Oh, that's not that bad. That's not
Yeah.
bad. My job is, depending on traffic, it could be 30 minutes to an hour. Depends on traffic though.
It was like City of Industry, Rancho?
City of Industry.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I totally just
Yeah.
guessed right now. I
Yeah.
love
Did
it.
you realize?
I
Yeah.
just guessed.
Yeah. So it's about 30 minutes depending, but it could be an hour depending on the traffic or whatever. So, let's see what else we got. Oh yeah. So since Biden was able to recently say that we're going to completely ban Russian oil, gas, and all that stuff, so
The
obviously that's
sanctions.
going to make the prices higher for us.
Know who I blame?
Uh,
It's not Putin. It's not Russia. I blame Warren Buffett. So
Why?
Warren Buffett donated millions of dollars to Biden, right? And as soon as Biden got into office, that pipeline that would have made gas actually a lot cheaper and affordable and easier to transport and all that
Where
got canceled. The pipeline.
Oh, okay.
I
From
forgot
Canada.
what's yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
So
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
the reason I feel like I blame Warren Buffett is there's always a reason why you donate to a political party.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
The reason being how oil and like gas and all that gets transported right now or through his railways, through his railroad, because he owns the railroad.
Okay.
So why not donate this guy, and then as soon as he gets in the office, he's gonna go ahead and just cancel that pipeline because you want them to keep using your railroad.
Oh, okay.
So
I
I mean, you know what I mean? I just feel like it's unfortunately this whole all governments, anything that has power, it's all who you know, it's all corporate. It's like, what favor can I do for you? Have you ever figured out like why governments are really against organized? They call it organized crime, like gangs and mafias and stuff. It's because they're doing what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like the U.S. government got the idea for the lottery because of the mafia, because of the Italian mafia. They're like, what is this running book? So what are you doing here? Oh, it's just this thing we do. You know, we sell raffles for like 5 cents, and then somebody in the apartment building in this one block will win $200 or $300. And they're like, so how much money do you generate? You know, because they arrested these people, and they saw, well, these people are generating stupid amount of money because they're selling all these raffles. That they're selling like $2,000 worth of raffles, and then someone wins $300 at the end of the month. You know what I mean? So it's just government's in power, man. That's why I'm in a sense, I guess politically, I would say I'm probably a libertarian, but I'm more of an anarchist. I kind of see like I want a ridiculous amount of change, but I can't complain because I'm not really doing anything to change it. You know what I mean? If I ran for office, I would get canceled immediately. They were looking at an old tweet, or somebody would come out like, "Yo, that dude punched me in the face." It's like, boom, never mind, can't be a politician.
An old tweet.
I got dirt.
I couldn't be I can't be a politician. I'd be a good politician. Oh, maybe, I don't know.
I always thought you would, because you always it seemed like you have a big circle as far as like a circle of influence. I don't know what you ever
I
call it.
just know people. Like
Yeah.
even in high school, I knew everybody. You know what I mean? Like no matter what circle, I knew somebody in that circle.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was like the sport, anybody, any circle. I knew somebody in the circle,
Yeah.
and I was cool with them. So
It also puts us in a weird situation though, because like even even certain countries that we had like put sanctions on, it's now coming to a point where now we're turning to them for oil.
Venezuela.
Yeah, Venezuela.
Yep.
Um,
Can we have some oil, please?
yeah,
Well, sorry.
and the thing is, like, Biden hasn't really specified that we weren't going to go to these countries. So even Iran could be even on the table in conversations.
You know what I hear? I hear that word around the block. It's not like I know anybody in the White House, but I hear that the Saudis are not picking up Biden's phone calls.
Really?
They're just not picking up his phone calls.
Why is that though?
They don't respect him. They don't want to do business with him, which
They've-
sucks for us.
Yeah,
like,
for like
Well, we have a lot of oil in like Saudi, so we have the oil here. It's just Biden put a lot of restrictions on it, and from my understanding, they want to prevent any fracking from happening, which is why we get oil overseas. And Saudi's like our number one, go-to people. But
Yeah,
right now
yeah.
it's like a mess because we're tied into everything that's happening in Russia, and they have a lot of natural like sources of energy.
so what's your take on the whole Ukraine thing? How do you guys feel about the Ukraine situation that's going on? Do you think it's as clear cut as like the media makes it? I mean, I'm not saying what's going on isn't horrible, because I don't think war should ever be a thing. But I can't say that there isn't probably like something behind it. You know what I mean? Like why is it so like?
My theory is I feel like with every big thing that happens in the news, it's like a distraction of what's actually going on behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, why are they hyping this up? Because
What are you guys doing behind my back?
Yeah, because it's always the case. Like, what was it? This is just an example. I forget what was going on at the time, but that was the same time that they were trying to get like Ghislaine Maxwell, like that whole thing that happened at court. Like no one really talked about it. They were too hype about a situation that was happening at the time.
Yeah.
So things like that always happen.
They didn't want to put the names out.
Yeah.
They didn't want to put the names out. That's fucked up.
So
It's
same
like,
thing,
why not?
Yeah. Same thing with like Ukraine and Russia. I'm like, it is a big deal what's going on, but I'm thinking what's happening behind the scenes.
It's like, this is how much they tell us and show us.
Yeah. Like COVID, like now it's nothing. Oh, open up everything. Like now all of a sudden everything's back to normal ever since the whole thing with Russia happened.
True.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you that because we didn't come out of COVID officially, but for the most part, the numbers have dropped and stuff like that. Cases are starting to decline. So
That's
so
a
now
sticky situation.
Now, how do you guys feel about us being like, in a real serious situation where it could turn into like World War III? Like, do you remember in 2020 when everything was just going bad nonstop?
Yeah,
it was just like
every
one
month
bad thing after another. It was like aliens, then it was bees, and then it was just like something crazy.
I know I've touched on it. It's like the 1% who have most of the wealth and power in the world want to keep on that power. You know what I mean? They want to keep the power. So being on their being them, I get it. Like who wants to step down from the top of the hill? But at the same time, it's everything is orchestrated almost like a New World Order type of thing.
Yeah.
And that's a subject that could go. I mean, that's a very deep,
Yeah.
Well,
go
it's funny you say that because like I was talking to Isaiah beforehand. Like we're talking about my thing. It was along the lines of like moral and ethics. Like, are like your moral and ethics always going to be divided just because you wanted to do the right thing? Because I'm sure there's good people that are the 1%, but are they compromising to make things happen for them?
I don't think people who are in the top, like, okay, maybe there are a few, say out of 10 top 1%ers, 10 of them, there's probably 2 really good people there, maybe 3. You don't get to those positions of power just by being a good person and having good morals and being like, what was that guy, Schwab? Doesn't he just sound like a fucking villain? He looks like a villain.
Yeah, but then my question is, well, because I have like the fortune of like being around like wealthy people, and like for the most part, at least my circle, they're like the most giving, humble people you'll ever meet. Not to say they're all like that, but there are good ones out there. But why do we correlate like someone's high status of wealth as them being like
people look at money. People, it's like a insecurity thing. I feel it's like when you look at when someone has something that you don't have, there's a bit of jealousy. Now, if someone is wealthy, you're gonna see something in them that you don't like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think of like a wealthy person. Bill Gates always gets that rap, even though he's trying from the outside, seemingly like he's trying to help, right? But like people don't trust that.
I just don't trust anyone. I don't trust a lot of people in general. Like, so it's like, I just don't trust you, man.
But to go back to your Ukraine question, I honestly think it has a lot to do with Putin personally, just because when the whole Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, Putin was working as a KGB, is it KBG?
No, KGB.
KGB, excuse me.
KGB
operative.
KGB, yeah.
So he was working as an operative, and he witnessed basically this collapse of the Soviet Union, right? The Soviet Union was like the superpower.
One of them.
Yeah, and it had even at one point in time, like the whole eastern side of Europe, I mean, that's just crazy amount of empire that was, right? And to be reduced all the way down to now just Russia. Where all these other independent sovereign countries around it now, and then on top of that, Ukraine for for the first time, finally they elected somebody who is more Western leaning, that I think tipped it, for Putin, because for the most part, the whole time, even though they elected officials, they were still friendly with the Kremlin until Ukraine in 2014 happened, where they elected somebody who wasn't. And I think that was like the tipping point as far as like Putin wanting, because there's an old adage in Russia. I think I wrote it down, and it goes something like, Russia will never be a superpower again unless it has Ukraine, basically, because Ukraine is like the heart.
I hear it's a bread bowl.
They have everything that Russia needs.
Yeah, I hear it's a bread bowl.
So it's like,
but
Putin will never be successful unless they have Ukraine.
So I'm not sure. I can't everything. Don't quote me on anything, because But from what I've heard is so Ukraine wanted to join NATO, right? And then when you join NATO, I believe there's some type of not contract, but basically people who are part of NATO could build bases like on your land, on your country.
Right.
So how would you feel as, say, Mexico joined, right? Say
Mexico joined the Kremlin or something.
Yeah, right. So Russia got to put missiles in Rosarito, Mexico, like 2 hours away from us. Like, I wouldn't feel too good about that. Like, I feel a little uncomfortable. Like, it's kind of too close to home. You know, I could see why he didn't like the idea of Ukraine joining NATO.
Right.
And normally it takes like a while. Like, it takes a couple years to like get in.
Yeah.
But with Ukraine, it was sped up. It happened very, very, very quickly.
Unless they knew something was gonna happen.
Yeah,
which is
so
where
I
we're
mean,
at now.
It's all highly suspect. You know what I mean?
So, like, with that whole territory right there, Belarus, Ukraine, and Georgia. So those are the three, like, from north to south. That's a big, massive land barrier between Russia and Europe. And picture that buffer zone being gone, like. You know, so I definitely understand what you're saying, because it's just like that. If like Mexico was taken over by Russia or something,
or they made a deal with Russia, they're like, you know, we're homies,
or Iran or something.
Yeah, they're like, okay,
like,
but so because we're homies now, you're gonna let me put some missiles
right
next to your, you know,
right next
to my enemy.
Because that's what we did with Poland. I think we sent stuff over there to Poland. Like, it's the same thing.
In most history books, like, history books are bullshit, but like in most history books, like America, like we look like bad guys.
We were straight up like
we're fucking assholes, but
because at every, like, I think wherever we invaded, it just made everything worse.
There definitely is another perspective to it, for sure. From their perspective, I do agree with that. So out of the two perspectives, though, which one's the real good guy?
There is, see, and I don't think it's that easy. I don't think it's easy as good and bad and black and white. You know what I mean? Like, the universe is about, I hate to be all weird, but the universe is about balance. You know, it can't be all light. It can't be all dark. You know, everybody has a good and bad side to them.
Yeah.
Do I think Putin's fucking crazy? Yeah. He's probably really fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But if I would, those are the type of people that I'm never going to have a chance to sit down and speak to him and just talk to him.
You never know.
But if I did, I wonder what the fuck he would tell me. Like, can you let me know what you feel? I want to see where you're coming from. You know what I mean? I want to see Putin on the Joe Rogan podcast.
He'd probably hire you as an operative for, for Ukraine, like an oligarch or something.
No, I'm good. I don't want to be a spy. But ironically, that's what I do for my birthdays. So for my birthdays, there's one thing I do, like a family dinner, right? Then I have a night for the homies and friends. And the third thing I do is like something I've never done before. So when I turned 30, I did, I jumped out of a plane. Ooh. Yeah. But I want to get certified. Like, I really enjoyed it. Like, I'm working on that right now. And next,
so you'll be like the trainer or something like
that. So next off, I think I'm going to do maybe like some scuba diving lessons. I'm just slowly want to do, like, have you ever seen like an interview with Tom Cruise? Like, hey, is it true that you can fly a helicopter? Yeah. Can you hold your breath for 5 minutes? Yeah. It's like, dude, you're a fucking. You're kind of like a fucking spy. Right, you know, I know he plays a spy, but like, if you think about all the stuff he learned just to pretend
Yeah.
to play pretend, it's like it's still pretty impressive. So I think I'm slowly gonna do that. Just so I could like a humble flex. Yeah, I've been scuba diving.
Yeah.
I'm certified. You know, it's
biggie.
cool.
Yeah. So then, Vladimir Putin could hire you then.
No, fuck no. I wouldn't work for him. You couldn't afford me. You're like, I want a lot of money. Oh, you know what? Maybe you could.
Oh.
No, that's kind of sad.
Well, that's what he was doing. He was hiring for at least I think the last decade, hiring basically people to infiltrate and basically like run for office to manipulate the country.
I think people think I'm a communist and shit. I am not a communist.
Yeah. You know what I found interesting? Do you guys know why the Soviet Union did disperse? Do you guys know why it fell apart?
I forgot. That's like a history question.
Yeah, it was because of one of the presidents. I forgot his name. He basically wanted to enable true communism because he felt like it wasn't true communism.
Mm-hmm.
And so he wanted to enable true communism. And basically he started to give rights to the people where they can do like free speech and stuff. Well, as soon as you give people that right,
yeah, they're going to start saying some shit.
And basically that's what happened. They started saying some shit. And then he kind of like bowed over to them and like gave them what they wanted. And then they started being able to elect officials. And then all of a sudden they just wanted to be independent. And then he started, he wanted to make peace with the U.S., right? He wanted to have a good relationship. And so he started withdrawing troops. And so it was like a signal of weakness though. Like people took that as a weakness. And so there was a lot of little rebellions and they were just like, we want to do our own thing now.
It's unfortunate how like humans can't get along.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. They're peacekeepers or they're peacemakers.
Yeah. True.
I love dogs though. Dogs are amazing.
Dogs are amazing, bro. Have you seen the new movie, Dog?
No, I haven't seen it.
No, that's a good one, bro. You should see it.
I'll check it out.
So I want to go ahead and we'll switch gears and we'll talk about Disney a little bit here. So in the month of this month,
That evil corporation. Disney.
yeah, oh yeah, dude.
I'm just kidding. I'll work for
Disney. Does have a dark side.
I would definitely work for Disney. I like Disney money. Disney, fuck yeah, Disney money is Disney money, homie.
I don't know. Like I had a friend who said they worked with Disney and
they own everything.
He got. I don't know if he got let go or he quit. I think he quit. Yeah, he quit, and they told him you're never ever going to be able to work again. Like
they blacklisted him.
Yeah, they were like, you're never gonna ever get a job ever again, like as good as this or whatever.
I know, from my understanding, anything
fucking mouth.
Anything you create when you work for Disney, it's own.
Disney property.
If you scribble, it's like BuzzFeed, same thing. Like they own everything.
BuzzFeed's like
create.
that too.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that left BuzzFeed because they didn't own any of their creative content, but also it was just like they took everything from them. Like
really?
Yeah, if they had an idea. It was owned by BuzzFeed. So they broke off and did their own thing. And for the most part, all of them are like really successful because they gained the following. But yeah, Disney's the same way.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I remember like in the early YouTube days, I used to watch these Disney like conspiracy videos. Man, that was a rabbit hole right there.
Nickelodeon too.
Oh yeah, Nickelodeon.
That's a whole other
too.
thing. The
That's
producers
right.
and stuff. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then the Disney one was just so like with kids because it's with children, It's like
if you control the youth, you control the future. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. What do you think about that? By the way, like we're watching these movies as young kids, right?
It's
and
everything's programming to a sense. You know what I mean? That's why people believe in like fairy tale love.
Do you
and
think
shit.
they were just doing it to like fuck around, or do you think it was intentful? Like,
what do you mean?
Like for example, like in the movie Aladdin. Simba falls in the leaves and it spells sex.
I thought it was hilarious. From my understanding, Walt Disney was a huge jokester, so he would intentionally have his team like do that. And I don't know why they're like, oh my god, it's like like they'd never seen a naked woman like outside a window from like the rescuers. That was a thing too.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was comical. Like older now, like I think that's hilarious.
I mean, to me as a kid watching it, I mean, I don't give two shits about it. Like I but. I wondered what was really behind that. Was it just to mess around, or was it?
But then you can say that about what's going on now because there's things like
human,
what's going on with Buzz Lightyear. Like,
what's going on with Buzz Lightyear?
Oh yeah. So
what's happening with Buzz Lightyear? Oh shit! I like Buzz.
So let's get into that. So March 9th, LGBTQ employees and allies at Pixar Animation Studios sent a joint statement to Walt Disney Company leadership.
Canceled.
Claiming that Disney executives had actively censored overtly gay affection in its feature films. And I was laughing just because you were like, I'm going to get canceled.
I would get canceled immediately.
Yeah.
I couldn't be famous.
You can't say anything without being canceled.
So
now.
I think I need to be introduced as like a comedian. But even then, they can't even say anything no more. You know,
well, Dave Chappelle helped. He helped.
Yeah, he does not care. He's like, no, you're not going to do that to me.
I'm not. Well, I can't say I'm a comedian because I don't do stand up. But I mean, I'm
you
kind
have the
of funny.
background. You have the background.
I'm kind of funny sometimes.
You have the background. For sure. So this stunning allegation was, I guess, made as part of a larger protest over the company's lack of public response to Florida's dubbed "Don't Say Gay" bill. Have you guys heard about that?
No,
bill?
what's going on?
Yeah, it's really misconstrued.
I've heard a little bit, but I don't know a lot of it.
I'll bring it up to you. I got the article here.
Oh shit! Okay.
So
professional.
So earlier this month, the Florida state legislation passed a ban on certain classroom instruction about LGBTQ life. Critics have dubbed it a "Don't Say Gay" bill, part of a class of anti-LGBTQ censorship legislation gaining steam across the country.
You can't say gay.
The bill would allow parents to sue a school district if they believe a teacher has taught children in 3rd grade or younger about sexual orientation or gender identity, or taught older students about such topics in a manner that is non-age appropriate or developmentally appropriate. It would also force schools to notify parents if they begin providing support to queer or trans students who come out. So leaders of LGBT,
I'm getting canceled.
they maintain that the bill is vague and broad enough to create a chilling effect among teachers and school administrators, such that none will want to risk potentially ruinous lawsuits by even mentioning the existence of gay or trans people in classrooms.
So like surface level, it's saying don't teach kids how to be gay or like, talk about identity, any of that stuff. So that's like so surface level. Mm-hmm. The deep rooted, when I was reading, it wasn't that at all. It's more so like this is a conversation where one, like, not that they want to eliminate it, but it's more so kids are so impressionable to see what they see nowadays.
Yeah, well, I mean, all kids are impressionable.
So I can understand in the back end where it's like not so much don't talk about being gay. It's just more so like kids are still learning and growing into their own. Would I personally feel comfortable with them talking about this kind of stuff at age 7 or 8? I'm not eliminating the idea that some kids might feel a certain way, like non-binary, whatever. But to me, in my head, I'm thinking they're way too young to even like fathom that or understand it.
So I guess, all right, I might get canceled. But in my opinion, like, okay, and this kind of, I don't think it's outrageous, but it's like your frontal lobe isn't developed until you're 25. That's like early adulthood. So for people who, I know it's like a big thing when people trans and they transition, they want to do it at like 16, 17, but you're not meant, your brain isn't fully developed yet. You know what I mean? I would say anything goes, you can do whatever you want, but at least let your brain fully develop. I mean, I know it's kind of weird. That's my opinion.
Yeah, but we also live in a world where everyone wants to feel valid. And I was talking to a friend about like Angelina Jolie, for example. Her daughter identified as a boy at age 7 or 8.
Yeah, and she's acting really girly now, right?
Yeah, and she like went through the whole process, the hormones. She was dressing like a boy, all that. And then in teen years, oh, I'm a girl. Like, never mind.
What about Will
We're
Smith?
We're going to become lizards.
Will Smith and Will Smith's kids, too.
Jaden and Willow.
Identified as non-binary. I don't know what the hell they were identifying as.
Willow. My cousin met Willow a couple times. She said she's cool as fuck. Probably is. I don't know. I never met her. But, yeah, I hear Willow's, I think she, what do you call that? Polygamous? When she's into, like, having more than, like,
something
one.
Like that.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I don't even know. Because, I mean, I've been going to therapy lately. I've been finding a lot about myself. Yeah. I've been finding out a lot about myself. And so it's like to each their own.
Therapy's
as long as you don't hurt innocent people and children, then I won't fuck with you. But like,
I just think with that, like, you can't. We live in a world where everyone needs to be valid. Like, I'm non-binary, and if you hate on me, then I'm going to cancel you. Like, we live in a world where it's like that, and it's not out of malintent.
So in a sense, people are bitches now. most people are too sensitive, too soft, and they think they're. Not saying that your opinion doesn't matter, but your opinion doesn't mean everything. Like,
yeah, but like to go back to that bill, it's I don't like I said, you can't eliminate how someone like how they identify, but let them understand what it is when they get older. But I think too, a part of that bill is if the kid reports that they're gay or want to transition or something, they have to report it to parents. I think that was tied to it too. Really? So I know there was like a thread of like, well, you know,
what if the kid's not ready to come
yeah,
out? Yeah,
or but
that's a
it kind
box of worms.
But it still goes back to like, well, are they young? Do they even understand what that stuff is? And it's not to say we should teach it to kids. It's more so like, kids have a lot of questions about everything. Mm-hmm. So for them to see one thing like on TV of like someone kiss, like same sex is kissing, oh my God, I think I might be gay. Like,
yeah, no, yeah,
that's not always, yeah.
You're a kid.
I think like if I were to play devil's advocate on it, let's say, I think one of the things that might come up will be like, well, they should get some education on it, mm-hmm. On knowing, and so they're not completely like invisible, I guess. Like,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I struggle with that too, because kids are very impressionable. You're right. You know, my nephews and nieces, they repeat everything off of like TikTok. They take that mm-hmm. and they're running with it. So,
for us, it was a Chappelle show.
Yeah. It was a Chappelle show. So I struggle with that because, you know, it's like we are pretending like we're not here, like we're not, you know, even existence, like we're not even existing. But at the same time, when is the right time? Because they're young. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
But they still have the choice of wanting their kids to learn about it. It's not like we're going to eliminate it completely. From my understanding, it was they still have they can say yes or no. It's like when you learn sex education in 5th grade.
You have to sign up.
Yeah, you have to
parental.
Yeah, you have to. So it still goes down to that they're not talking about.
Do you remember that video? Like I think it was like 5th grade. I remember that video was comedy.
Separated, and then in high school they just tell you all that stuff. Like
girls
this is what chlamydia is. Yeah, like. That stuff works, by the way, like abstaining. Well, for me, at least, I was like, I don't want to do any of that stuff.
I don't want chlamydia.
Yeah. I had a teacher, like, this is like side note, but like I had a teacher who legit like froze the screen for us to see what chlamydia looked like. I was like, legit. And he loved it. He goes, yeah, you like, look at that. No. Don't have sex or you'll die. You know, like it was like one of those situations.
No, I remember what made me not want to have sex in high school. It was freshman year at Ike. I forgot. I was in Mr. Dalbert's class, the English teacher. He was like I think he was like an Army Ranger. He was like Special Forces. He was a little. I could tell. I've dealt with those type of people before, so I knew how to interact with them.
Yeah.
So he and I were really cool, but like to see him. But anyways, we were in that class. I'm on a tangent, and I see this guy to my left. He sat to my left, and he was ghost white, mind you. He's supposed to be brown, and I was like, "Yo, you okay, man?" He's like, "She's late." I was like, "What?" She told me she's pregnant. And I was like, what are you talking about? We're freshmen. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, his girlfriend, my girlfriend, she's pregnant. Whoa. And he just looked like he was ghost white, sweating. I was like, I don't want to fuck nobody in high school. Like, like it scared the shit out of me. I was like, I'm not doing it. Doesn't mean I wasn't a tease though, but definitely, that put me off from.
That's heavy. That's heavy in high school to have something like that happen.
Like, and then dude, like fucking same year, same class. I think there was a girl named Violetta that was like pregnant. She was like 14. We were like 14, 15.
Yeah.
And I think like her boyfriend was like 17, 18. That shit was definitely not legal. It was kind of gross. And I was
like, you'll get canceled for that.
Yeah, I was like, like it's rape, right?
Yeah, statutory rape. But yeah, so like to go back to that, it's you still have the choice of like, I want my kid to go. Nah, I don't really want my kid to go.
Because it kind of like it threw me off when it was saying about like 3rd grade or younger. So
that's way too fucking.
That's young. That's way too young. Like I'm sorry, that's too young.
3rd grade. I was into Ninja Turtles in the 3rd grade. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, he's gross.
Right.
Yeah. I don't want to touch the pole because you touched the pole. Like that was
at that time, like, you know, I know at that time, like we're thinking like girls,
no, not me.
Whatever. Like, you never.
But that's because that's my own trauma though. That's different. This is a different story. But no, but I've had friends that like a coworker of mine when I worked at the gym. God, I can't remember his name, but you know, gay dude, hilarious. And but he was like, yeah, I knew I was gay like immediately. I'm like, he's like, I was like 4 or 5 years old. He's like, no, like, pretty sure I like guys. So I was like, that's cool. I was like, I was the opposite, you know.
Yeah.
So I think a lot with kids, like a lot of time, like early, but like you just gotta wait to grow. It takes time, you know. Like
Yeah,
kids.
because I mean, I've
100%.
known people who I guess weren't like out yet.
Mhm.
I don't know if they were. I don't know what they were. I don't know what they were battling internally. I don't know if they struggled with it or they just were trying to purposefully not go there. But you know, I've known people who have eventually did come out. So there are people who are still like figuring it out. You know.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a while.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a while. So with this here, and what's going on with Disney, because we didn't get there. So I guess there's a source that says that, well, when Pixar sent that letter to the Disney company, they were basically saying that they were thwarting like any scenes that had any type of same-sex affection. So they didn't go in specifics on which particular scenes or which particular movies that they were talking about.
But you said it was a Buzz Lightyear movie?
This one is a Lightyear movie. Yeah, the Buzz Lightyear movie. So it's starring Chris Evans. It's like a real life inspiration for the Toy Story character Buzz Lightyear. And it does feature a significant female character, Hawthorne, who is in a meaningful relationship with another woman.
Okay.
So I mean, with that, the real issue here is not the relationship in itself; it's the scene of them actually
affection.
kissing.
Okay.
Yeah. So the kissing scene. So it got removed.
Okay, yeah, I mean, you gotta think these are kids. You know what I mean? Like some parents just don't want their kids seeing affection in general. Like when you're a little kid, they're like, close your eyes. You know, they don't. Some people are not ready to have that conversation with their kids. So I think that's what the corporation's probably going for. They're like, some people don't want to have that discussion with their kids at 4 or 5 years old. Like, hey, why is that girl kissing that girl? It's like, fuck.
I was forced to close my eyes all the time. Any kissing scene, like, didn't matter. My mom was like, no, don't. And which to this day, I'm like, I feel awkward watching stuff with my parents.
Yeah, to
this day, I'm like,
do I need to do this for you still?
Yeah. So I gotta look away. Yeah.
No, my parents were pretty cool.
Yeah.
The only thing that I was not allowed to watch, but I snuck into, or like I want to go watch it later, was Scarface. They were like, no, you can't watch Scarface. Which when I watched it, I was like, oh my god, I could see why you didn't want me watching this.
But I think with that, to me it just goes back to like that people just getting upset because right now that's it. Like right now, like
cool
that's hot news is like, oh, like you're not now. Pixar's not inclusive because they eliminated that scene. So it's like another riffraff of like something hot to talk about because of that idea. And like,
It's cool to be offended nowadays.
Yeah.
You
So
hurt my
now
feelings,
that's
so
especially amongst that community, like there's always something going on. A comment that someone say, like, I think, what's his face? Tim Allen was supposed to play Buzz Lightyear, but because he has conservative views, that's the only reason why he's not the voice of him. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's pretty conservative. He's very red. Yeah. So they got, I think, what is it? Captain America. He's the voice of him.
Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Okay. Got you. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Oh, that's
Shit,
because I was
didn't know
wondering
that. Damn.
I was wondering that. I was like, why isn't
Mic drop.
Yeah. All right, everybody.
All right, I'm done.
I was wondering that though because I was thinking, I wonder why Tim Allen was unavailable or something. So that's interesting. I do think too that you're right that maybe families aren't ready to have that conversation quite yet. I don't know, like, how do you determine when it's right? Like,
some people have never had that conversation with their parents. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's really, I don't know.
Yeah, it's true though. Like some people haven't.
Yeah, that's where it comes into play where they're like, do we talk about this? Do we not? Do we just wait till later? Do we just shove it, to the side?
Yeah.
Like, don't mandate stuff. I told you.
Yeah.
Don't mandate. It's just going to piss me off.
What do you think Disney's dilemma is? Do you think it's that they're considering the families, or do you think they have other reasons?
I don't think. I think they're probably just considering the families.
But this is just one. Like there's other stuff like on Disney Plus. Like they have that. What is it? That short of the two dads.
Out.
Yeah, so they can't say that.
Yeah, exactly.
This is just one that people are upset about. I'm like, look at all the other stuff that they've created, even in shows. I think there was like a show, isn't there like a gay couple or something?
I remember when I watched Mulan in the 5th grade. I was like, yo, she gay. Like, I was like, I'm pretty sure Mulan is gay. Wasn't gay. And then the prince dude was kind of into dudes or little kids or not little boys, but young guys. It was kind of like, it was a weird, I just remember like, okay, all right, I kind of see what's going on.
The innuendos were already in there.
Yeah,
no one
much.
was upset. Yeah.
Like, I guess, Michael Scott says it best. He's like, all right, I don't want to get canceled, but he's like, you don't call your friend. He's like, you don't call a retarded person retarded.
Oh yeah.
You call your friends retarded when they're acting retarded, and it's such a fucked up thing to say, but it makes 100% sense.
Yeah.
You don't want to be rude.
Yeah. Do you think money comes into play with that, with Disney? Do you think it affects their pocketbooks by them doing that?
It could just be a marketing ploy.
It could be.
Like, oh, now I'm going to see this,
Yeah,
see what the hype is.
Yeah, you're right.
So they're smart. They're not stupid.
As bad controversy is good.
Yeah.
Publicity still.
Yeah, all bad publicity is still good publicity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So could be that. I was thinking because like, certain countries like don't or will ban it, like Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, even Russia would like change it a little bit.
Really? Just
because of that.
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe that might be a reason they
it might be money, yeah. It's at the end of the day, it's normally about money. So it probably affects their money, so they're like, eh.
Or do you think it's like an individual in
Depends
Disney
who's in charge of Disney.
That might not really want to do that.
I think it's a money thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
They're going to make money either way. Like, you
But
put
where are
Disney
they-
on it, and
Where are they going to make their most money? You know what I mean?
and Pixar's it right now. Like, everything's Pixar at the moment.
True. Yeah.
So-
Pixar's the one doing it as far as like animation like this. I think Sony Pictures have gotten involved a little bit, but as far as doing it, Pixar Films is the only one. So do you guys remember any like Pixar movies that do have any like LGBTQ characters? Is there any that come to mind that you guys could think of?
Come to mind.
Pixar?
Oh, wait, hold on. I was going to say something from Toy Story, no?
Okay, there's Toy Story 4.
Yeah.
I have the list in front of me. So I'm just
Okay.
seeing
I
if you guys
was
might
going
know.
to say Toy Story, but I can't think of it.
Toy Story 4 has a scene like well, not a scene, but in the background they have like two women hugging a kid, sending them off to school or something like that.
Huh? Shit, I don't
So
know.
something in the background there. So just to give you some examples of some like forthright LGBTQ representatives in feature animations. 1999, South Park, Bigger, Longer, Uncut.
I love that. South Park.
Yeah, so that was in 1999. 2007, I never seen this, so I'm not sure how you pronounce it even. Persepolis?
Persepolis? Yeah.
So I guess that one. I don't know what that one. Do you know much about that?
I remember reading a little bit of the comic. The girl, I think she's she wears a hijab, and she was like a little like rebellious because she was into like punk music, and it went against what her family was telling her to do and to become. And that's as far as I know. Like, she was just pretty much more westernized compared to her family.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes place in like a Middle Eastern place, I think, the country.
That's much
Don't
more than
quote
we
me
know.
on it. Yeah.
I didn't know about that at all. 2016, Sausage Party. Dang, it's already been like that long.
Dang, I
Damn,
remember
I
that
feel
one.
so.
I never watched it, but I remember that one.
Did you see it, Matt?
Yeah, I did. I remember when I watched the movie, I was like, oh, damn. I was like, it's kind of.
What LGBT like?
I think I think it was Nick Kroll's character, the douchebag.
Okay.
Right when he was like he made out with a dude. He's like, "You tell anybody about this, bro? I'll deny it." Like, so.
Okay.
I mean, but I heard a lot of bad things about that. Like internal, like back, like I heard they didn't pay the people,
really?
the animators. They used a lot of like students, and they didn't pay them anything, and they got them to work long hours for free.
Dang, that's all kinds.
Yeah,
of
it's kind of it's shady, but I kind of that's Hollywood. That's the game. Like,
damn.
Sad.
Last one, 2021's Flea. You guys see that one?
No.
I haven't seen that one either.
I haven't heard of that one.
We're uncultured. I'm sorry.
But in a G or a PG rated animated movie, their approach has really been to like tell, but they don't really show.
Or isn't it? What about like Does drag count?
I guess
To
they could count.
support?
Yeah.
Okay, because I remember like in Lion King when
Oh yeah, Timon
was dancing, he was
What do you
hula
mean?
dancing.
Dressed in drag and do the hula.
Same thing with Mulan. They all dressed in drag
Yeah,
to
they
go
all dressed-
save
I didn't even think about
the
that.
emperor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That should right.
Like,
That's
do
a
not
good catch.
support
That's a good catch.
LGBTQ.
Good one. Good one.
That's a good catch.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, pull that one from the 90s. That's a good catch.
Yeah.
I guess they say like the arguably like most high profile LGBTQ character in an animated studio feature to date would be Katie, the teenage lead for the Mitchells versus the Machines. Have you guys seen that?
What is that? Oh man,
haven't heard
I'm
of
sorry. I
that
haven't seen.
one.
No?
Guess I'm not watching a lot of kids.
It's a pretty good. It's a pretty good kid film, I guess. Like
Wait, is it good?
It's. I think it's like family film more.
Okay.
More so. And it's so it's her family. Basically, they're like fighting off all these like robots. I don't know if it's the end of the world. I'm like trying to fast track remember this. So they're like fighting all these zombie-ish robot things.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess at the end of it, so the whole movie, you don't know that she's gay or anything like that. But at the end, there's an explicit like fact about her identity that's fully revealed in the final moments of the film when her mother makes like a passing reference to her girlfriend. So it's like a small little moment, and that's like the most like in any PG or G rated movie that you have of a character, you know, an LGBT community. And that wasn't even made by Pixar. That was made by Sony Pictures Animation and released on Netflix. But they also came out with 2020 Onward. Did you guys watch that one?
No, but I remember hearing
Onward, yeah, I
about
heard.
it.
So that one was pretty good too.
Onward?
But that one they just had one character and it was like a one-eyed cop. But
Okay.
there was some backlash about that because it was kind of like ugly looking. So they're like, you're gonna get this ugly looking cop to represent us.
Oh
Like,
my god.
so-
That's like with the L word. They were like, not all lesbians are hot. Like that was like a whole thing too. Like you can't. No one's happy.
no
Yeah,
one's
you,
gonna win. Yeah.
I think you have to. You have to be comfortable knowing that you're not going to make everybody happy. You know what I mean? And like as a big corporation, that's like the opposite. You're trying to sell your whatever you're selling to everybody.
Representation.
So you have to try to make everybody happy somewhat without pissing everybody off some way. So like what the last LGBTQ, the thing that like kind of made me chuckle was the Michael Myers movie. They're like,
that was stupid.
They're like, oh, why did he kill a gay couple? Michael Myers kills anybody. If you're
That
in the
was
way,
stupid. I thought it was
if you're in the
dumb.
way, he's going like
Except
literally.
for a baby. He left a baby alone one time.
Okay. Well, fuck. I guess he left the baby alone. But he would literally kill anybody.
Yeah.
But they were trying to say like he killed a gay
Yeah, it
couple.
was
Like, bro,
anti-gay.
he's
I
like,
forgot about
how many
that.
straight
I
couples
forgot
have you
about
killed?
that.
He's
Yeah.
killed plenty of straight
Stupid,
couples. Like
yeah.
doesn't
I forgot
matter.
about that. But
So-
it was funny, dude.
It was
Like,
a good,
the
yeah. I
guy
like
that was playing the gay couple. I haven't seen that guy in a minute.
Mike McDonald.
Yeah.
He was like Mad TV.
on TV. Like I haven't seen that guy in a minute. So I was just like, this is dope. Like we got to see this guy again.
Yeah,
I didn't-
I liked it. I actually saw that movie in theaters.
And
That was good.
if anything, I would think that would be like a nod to.
Yeah,
the
like
community,
look,
if anything.
representation.
Yeah,
No, I'm mad because they killed
Well,
me.
they killed the gay dudes. Well, he kills everybody. It's
Why
Michael
why
Myers.
did you watch it?
So if you don't want to see somebody
Hello?
die, you know my.
So
You know,
dumb.
it's gonna kill everybody. Yeah, it's so like comical just watching him. Just what was the last one? I don't want to spoil it, but it's been long enough now. Where he had like a battle scene. It was like a knife fight.
That pissed me off.
Who did?
Michael Myers.
The
He had
end
like
of the
he
movie.
had like a knife fight. It was like they were all circling him or
Oh
something.
yeah, no, I was.
Or they were all jumping him.
It was,
Yeah, he
it
just
was.
jumped
He got
him, hit him.
jumped. It was the first time that like, okay, Michael Myers always seemed kind of like a normal guy, but it was the first time that you're like, yo, he's not normal, you know, and there's some type of like spooky force behind him. But yeah, that was fun to watch. See him
Yeah, it
get he
was fun.
straight got jumped.
I was pissed though. I was like, he needs to die. Not that I knew he wasn't going to. I was so
Michael Myers.
pissed. I'm like, really? Like, cut his body up. Like,
I thought the last one that was it because he was in a burning house. Like it was done. This girl knew
Yeah.
his. She already knew him. Like she already knew how to do it. Nope. Still
No,
not.
fucking firefighters had to come do their job,
shoot,
save lives.
let it burn. Yeah.
So I want to wrap this up by talking by finishing this segment where one of the actually the director of Out, I think He did make a comment though about. I was reading something else. Yeah, he did make a comment about like this whole thing, and he was just saying, that he stands by his colleagues. He's really proud of them for like speaking out or speaking up, because for a long time they felt like it was a big wall to even try to do. And the thing about it is, they're doing their craft of making these movies or these films. And even if they wanted to do it just to answer or even fix discriminatory legislation in the world, they couldn't even do it because they were barred from doing it. And the director of Out, he just went on to say, that we're not going away. We're not going to go back into the closet. So in one sense, I understand the struggle or the fight of it, because like he was saying about being back in the closet, for a long time, this community was in the closet. And that's just the way it was. And everybody just knew that. Like, they might know somebody was gay, but it was in the closet. So I do, in one aspect, understand, I understand both sides. I respect it on both sides. I understand, and that's the thing about life. You're going to have to, how are you going to merge this, where we got to come together and make it work. And when is it too soon? When is it not represented at all? Like when it should be. So there is, I think, some sort of common line, I think, or silver lining that you can find in there somewhere. But it is interesting to talk about. It is going to change things, I think. As with this movie Lightyear, it's a significant turn because that's the first time in a big production PG film for Pixar that we actually have a scene like that. So that's a big turn.
So they're going to keep the same then?
Yeah, they're
going to keep it.
Yeah, so they're keeping the same.
I'm pretty sure when they show it, it's really going to be something so small.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
like a millisecond.
It's going to be quick. Yeah, it's going to be small, probably. Unless they drag it out. I don't know. This is the longest kiss you've ever seen. I don't know. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to get into the deep end here. And we wanted to talk about a video that Matt brought to my attention. And I feel like we want to really kind of dig in here, but we're just going to open it up. We're going to show the video, kind of talk about it, and just kind of, see where we get along with this. Because I know we're already at an hour and 30 in, so.
Yeah, doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, so we're at an hour and 30 in. I'm going to go ahead and play the clip. Let me pause it real quick. And then we'll just discuss it. Let me know if you guys want me to pause at a certain point. I'm going to go ahead and play this.
One of the features of this fourth industrial revolution is that it doesn't change what we are doing, but it changes us.
The difference of this fourth.
Well, first of all, what caught my attention there was Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes, I was like,
room,
what?
Right? That, like, immediately, it was
What
like,
are you doing
is he
here,
a part of this? Like,
Yeah, is he part of this?
Yeah. I'm like,
I
Leonardo
love him. He
DiCaprio's
has my
involved.
heart.
I know,
What?
I do love Leo.
I
Everybody
love
loves
him.
Leo. Who doesn't like Leo?
He's fighting for like all this, like,
He's all about green energy.
yeah, green energy and all this stuff. Makes great films. Yeah.
Anyway.
So, anyways, I saw him. I was like, oh no, like,
It's like they got him.
yeah. All right.
Industrial revolution is, it doesn't change what you are doing. It changes you. If you take genetic editing, just as an example, it's you who are changed. And of course, this has a big impact on your identity.
Editing your genes? Cool. I'll explain that later. But first,
Okay, first of all, do you know who this guy is, Matt? Do you know who this guy is that's talking
He's
to
a
you?
I knew he's a comedian of some sort. Like,
Okay.
but this is the first time I've seen him make this type of video when it's like, because normally he just makes fun of like it's nothing too deep. This is
Yeah.
the first time I've seen him
Actually, get a
bring
little bit-
these type of subjects in, and I'm
Okay.
like, oh shit,
Okay.
yeah.
Because I was.
But he
I was-
normally doesn't do this type. Like,
Okay. Because I was listening to him. I mean, just appearance wise, I don't know how serious I can take him just because of his necktie. It just doesn't look sharp for me to take him seriously enough.
yeah, he's definitely a comedian.
Okay.
He's
okay.
definitely a comedian.
Like his shirt is a little bit baggy. It's not fit. It kind of makes me not take him as serious just off of those appearances. But that's just my
explain that
commentary
later.
on it.
But first, why do so many people consider this guy, Klaus Schwab, to be the most dangerous man in the world? Well, there's some reasons. A lot of them. You might remember Klaus Schwab as the puddle of liquefied feces who said, by 2030, you'll own nothing and be happy about it.
If that's a real quote, that's crazy. You know what I mean?
It is. It is crazy.
That is a weird thing. You will own nothing and you'll be happy about it.
Well, think about it. We technically don't own our home.
We don't own anything.
Yeah, like, don't pay taxes on it. Guess what?
No,
They take it.
Yeah, low key, like, Native Americans had it right. I mean, you would just go hunting with your boys all day, go home, help raise your family, do it again the next day. Like, so, I mean, I don't know. But it is a different age now. It's a different time. Like, the fact that you, hypothetically, they wouldn't want you owning land because it's their land. You know what I mean? They'll probably just they outbid you. You know, they have so much money they could just outbid you. Because who's not going to sell their property? Say, like, I'm selling my property for $1 million, and you're going to buy it. And then Cynthia comes along. She's like, I'll give you $20 million. Well, I'm going to be like, well, I'm gonna go with Cynthia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like,
SoFi Stadium's like a perfect example. They bought out all those homes just to build that thing, to clean up the area. Yeah, like they bought out a lot of people just so they can make.
How much shady things you think went behind, like, under the rug?
Hell of a lot of shady stuff went down.
You ever, like, look, so I know this is such a random late 90s movie, but Romeo Must Die, remember? It was the whole movie, all these gangsters are plotting to do stuff just because, like, this rich white dude wants to build a stadium.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? That's really what it is about. It's
Yeah.
just, like, it's property.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You know it's just like this house right here on this corner, right here, right off the freeway.
Yeah.
You know they want to buy that up. They want to buy that piece of property for the longest time.
Yeah.
They've been wanting to buy it, and the owners have been saying like no.
We're good.
Now there's like finally a sign there that says like it's gonna be out for lease or whatever.
Really?
Yeah.
You think they're gonna come knocking on your door?
I don't know. I think I'm safe just because we're in this cul-de-sac, but you never know.
Never know. This used to be all like vineyards and
Right.
orange groves, so you never know.
Yeah. What if Rialto became big enough where like they wanted to buy this and make it a stadium?
Yeah.
Well, right now the money's in making warehouses. So
Yep.
from my understanding,
Let's make a studio.
I think where the pumpkin patches in Ukaipa, supposedly they bought it to make an Amazon warehouse.
Are you fucking
Wow.
Yeah.
Fuck Jeff Bezos, Lex Luthor looking
slowly but
motherfucker.
surely.
Yeah. So
What about when it says that line about you will own nothing
And be happy about
Be
it.
happy about it. Does that even mean ourselves? Like we won't
I-
even really have control of ourselves because of the.
Well,
VR?
I mean, how do you feel about AI? You know
About
what I
AI?
mean? Because I know Elon Musk is working on the
a chip,
chip, right?
Yeah.
Which in theory sounds cool.
Reminds you, isn't that the mark of the beast?
Basically.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Like, yeah, in a sense, you'll be able to live if you could record and save your memories. Then realistically, like, you could
it has to be able to.
transfer body. Like, imagine downloading every memory you have into an iCloud, and if you die or something happens, they could just put that in something else.
That kind of reminds me of Harry Potter. Are you guys Harry Potter fans?
My brother is, so by association.
I've
Okay.
watched Harry Potter.
So the 6th movie, he has the pensieve where he legit just takes out a memory, puts it in a bottle.
That's pretty
and puts
baller.
it-
Yeah.
And then when he needs to go back to that memory,
Go
he
see
puts
it.
it in and he goes in and sees his memory.
I'll be baller as shit.
That'd be
okay?
cool.
Yeah.
Not a damn chip in my head.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
But
Yeah.
I feel like it's possible. You know.
I mean, if
at this
people
point-
saw like our technology now, like I'm talking about like back then, they'd be like, that's magic.
Well, from my understanding, we have the technology. I think we're technically 20 years ahead. We're just dispersing it little by little, so that way people aren't overwhelmed
Yeah,
with. It's
I
like
totally
it's
see
literally
that.
like we're at a point at like Minority Report, but they're not gonna release it right now. They're gonna release it a little
Shit,
bit by
I
little.
totally forgot Minority. That's a good movie. That's a
Yeah.
Tom Cruise movie.
It's a good movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wonder what he learned. He learned some skill for that movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think you own
Own
anything.
nothing and be happy about it. Would you be happy, say, if you owned, say this is your house,
Yeah.
and they're like, we'll give you how much money, and we own, like, you you know,
At that
we just
point,
want-
I feel like I would be brain dead if I'm happy about it. Like, I see no situation where I'd be happy about it.
they don't like individual, like people being individuals. You know, they want people to be kind of not cookie cutter,
Yeah.
but they want people to just follow the rules.
To
I mean, that's
follow
what
the
that's what
rules.
school. That's what a lot of school teaches you, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of rule based, follow the rules, get in line, that type of stuff. They don't like people to independently think for themselves or like what like. So no, it trips me out. It's illegal. You have to pay for a license to go hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Why? You have to pay for a license to go fishing. Why?
I never thought about
What?
that.
Really?
Yeah, you need licenses to go to go hunting,
Yeah.
to go fishing, because they need to make their money off of you one way or another.
Damn.
So even if you're providing for yourself, if you go out in the wilderness and you
Yeah.
you source your own water, that's illegal. For most states and cities, it's illegal to like catch rain. It's like illegal to catch rainwater. They're like, why are you catching rainwater? I'm
like-
sorry, you own the
like-
water, bitch?
Well, even if you have oil on your property,
Oh, no, it's America's.
they will be like, oh, they'll give you like a sum of money,
Uh-huh.
but
But you
at
don't
the end
own
of the
it.
day, it's theirs. Yeah.
Mhm.
In Texas, I remember I had a teacher. He got a notice from I don't know who,
we found
but
oil.
they like tracked it to where he had oil in his backyard,
Oh.
and they gave him a good chunk of money for that. He doesn't own it, but they're like, oh, here.
So we
Yeah.
found out that you probably have about this much money worth of oil in your property. So we're gonna give you a quarter of that, and you're gonna be happy about it, and you gotta get the fuck out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's stuff like that. But that's how the government works. That's why I don't care about organized crime. I mean, I don't want people getting hurt, but like organized crime just does the same thing that
In
they
a
do.
sense, like that is actually good, right? Because they're doing it really for everybody.
Could be.
to get that oil because it's going to be used by
Yeah.
everybody.
So the
not
the
just that
government
one
the
person.
government should what the founding fathers want. The government should be afraid of their people and basically all the government is there to do is to help, not control.
Well, I think they want everyone to rely on the government.
Yeah,
Look
they-
how much people were relying on the government for like the
payments,
stimulus
checks.
Yeah, they want us to rely on the government. So, which is why I really like appreciate states like Texas and Florida. They're like, hell no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do our own thing. And they're actually thriving much better than other states that decided to follow. Like, especially this state, there were so many restrictions happening and there like crime was up. But in Texas, this is just an example. They still stuck to what they wanted to do, and it's still a thriving economy.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It is wild.
And what what's
Like-
his name? Elon Musk, like you said earlier, like the taxes here in California are fucking ridiculous. Movie studios are moving to Georgia. A lot of Marvel films are filmed in Georgia because what? The tax breaks are way better in
yeah.
Georgia than it is here.
It's there or Louisiana.
Yeah, and so that's the reason why the studios are moving out that way because I mean back in the day, back in the 30s and 40s it was out here. Like a tax
New-
break.
New York, too.
This state was like, we'll give you all these tax breaks if you have your studio over here. But California as a state has grown economically so big that all these rules have changed and they're like, oh no, we want this much, and taxes keep going up here,
Right.
Because who doesn't love our weather? You know what I mean? Let's face it, we got the best fucking weather.
But if you think
No
about
one's
it
gonna
too,
argue that. No
yeah,
one's gonna argue
the
that.
people that pretty much like wound up, so people that had that, not, I don't want to say wealthy, but people that had the money to be able to moved.
Mhm.
Everyone else that's living paycheck to paycheck had to stay because either like you said, it's the weather or they just can't afford. So they're going to get stuck with everything.
I saw an
you have to pay
article
for.
that the city of Los Angeles, not the county, just the city of Los Angeles, there was a massive exodus of like 176,000 people left the city of Los Angeles in the last couple years. And I heard that the governor, fuck that guy, I first name Newsom, he, I want his job, probably. I don't know. I'm just talking shit.
I didn't know he was related to Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, yeah,
Did you
that's a
guys know that? I
nephew.
didn't know that.
Everybody knows
Yeah. I didn't know
everybody.
that,
It's
bro.
a
I
small
barely
world.
found out
Yeah.
I'm
that
surprised that you and I
too.
don't know each other.
Well, like, get this. So,
That's what I
like,
was saying, bro.
from my knowledge, there were 3 counties or 3 cities in California that did not require the vaccine or mask mandate. Coincidentally, those were all areas of business that Pelosi and Gavin Newsom had, and another representative.
So, like, you know, he put on the face and did all these, like, okay, everyone, we're going to do this for everybody's safety. And, you know, all that. And yet your winery stayed open. Your kids kept going to school. Like, how are you going to make everybody, like, don't mandate shit? How are you going to make or at least don't be a hypocrite about it?
Yeah,
like,
at the least.
If you're saying we should all do this, then you should do it too, because that's what leaders do. There's a difference between a leader and a boss. You know, and a boss will tell you what to do and then do his own thing. A leader will do it with you.
Yeah.
And lead by example.
Do as I do. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so he's not a leader. He's just, I know when they did the whole recall thing and he was doing that, like, typical, like, high school pizza giveaway, like, hey, come vote for me, guys.
A lottery. Yeah. They did the lottery. If you did the vaccine, you're entered into a lottery. Here, there goes my tax money.
Suck a dick, bro. And yeah, you know, we paid for those pizzas too.
Yeah.
Everything. So, but people want to be just live in bliss.
Yeah.
People are already doing that.
Yeah.
The Oculus.
Oh,
there's people paying money to, like, stay in that world and live in the metaverse. So,
dude, what's that game? Ready Player One?
Yeah. That movie? Yeah. That movie, yeah.
It's
I
coming.
haven't seen it, but I've heard
it's coming. It's coming.
It's coming. It's just like the Matrix. You
Look,
knew it was coming.
It's coming. So, like, I wanna be a capitalist about it and probably, like, own some property in this fake ass world that don't exist.
Yeah.
Just so I can make money off of it. But am I gonna be spending my time in there? Like, no. Like, what's his name? The guy who created the iPhone,
Steve
Jobs.
Jobs. He didn't let his kids have iPhones.
I didn't even know that.
He didn't have no.
Really?
Yeah. No. He's like,
so
no.
what do they do then? What do they Androids or what?
I am not allowed to. Sorry, I
no,
know.
they still use like pigeon notes and shit like that. You know what I mean? But no, he didn't allow his kids to have iPhones because they'd be too fucking distracted.
But then again, too,
don't get high on your own supply.
Didn't he not give his kids shit? He didn't give his kids like a cut of whatever.
Jobs, or was it Bill Gates?
No, Bill Gates.
He didn't give Bill Gates. Did he give his kids the inheritance?
Bill Gates is shady as fuck. I'm not saying he's not a good guy, but I'm sure he's shady as fuck.
Yeah, there's some for sure things.
I mean, I'm shady in some ways, but not in the type of ways he's shady.
Well, yeah, dude. I don't know. Like, well, with his shadiness, it comes from like the vaccine test, because he did it like in third world countries where there was a lot of the red tape was all cut out. He could basically do whatever.
That's shady as fuck.
So there was a lot of people who had side effects that. What are you gonna do?
They're still going unreported.
You know what?
Yeah.
The guy who created the RNA thing was on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Oh, okay.
And he was talking about, like, I guess he was, it's his stuff. It's his patent.
Yeah.
And he was like, he got a lot of, like, Joe Rogan and him got a lot of shit for it because he was kind of talking like, hey, we don't know what, I mean, there's studies, but we don't know what's going to be like 10 years. Like, we don't, not 100% sure. So it's a gamble. Like, so.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You know what's that was something that kind of threw me off was like they were saying like in the metaverse things are going to be more like a house in the metaverse is going to be way more than a house in real life.
I have a friend who actually had bought property and he sold it for $1 million.
Where like
in the metaverse.
That's fucking.
So he legit has like $1 million sitting in his account. Most humble guy I know. Like he likes investing in all kinds of stuff.
Smart man.
But he sold it for $1 million, and he's actually going to use that money to buy more land in the metaverse.
More land in the metaverse?
Yeah.
But see, what's trippy though? I would buy some land out here too, because know what they're not making anymore?
What?
Land. Like real land. You know what I mean? There's not any. I mean, unless you're thinking about volcanic.
Did you hear they were selling Jeffrey Epstein's island?
Ooh.
Imagine that place is probably haunted as fuck. That Scooby-Doo island, it's that island.
Yeah, my cousin was telling me that.
I'm not gonna. Yeah.
All right, let's continue on this look.
Sorry.
What else we got?
Translated, that probably means by 2030 he'll own everything and he'll be happy about it. But how does he expect you to own nothing and be happy about it? Oh, he's got a plan. Now, I'll tell you about it in a minute. But before I do, a little bit about Klaus Schwab.
Real quick, doesn't he look like an albino Ninja Turtles, like their grandfather? He just looks.
He does, dude.
He looks weird as fuck. Okay, sorry.
Looks like a bad guy, like a villain character of some sort.
He has those jowls, like those, like his neck is dropping.
Yeah, He does. Let me see what else he got.
He's the author of COVID-19, The Great Reset.
Okay. So I didn't know that this was even out. The Great Reset.
That's a book, right?
Yeah. Do you know anything about that?
I have not. I can look it up right now if you want.
Okay. Well, I think he probably was going to talk about it or get into it. I do find it interesting because I think he says that it was published in 2020 as well. So that's kind of odd.
What a grand opportunity indeed. Oh, and his book was published on July 9th, 2020. Wonder how he got it written and published that fast. It's almost like maybe he pre-wrote it before he started the pandemic. I mean, before the pandemic started. Old Klaus is also the founder and chairman of the World Economic Forum, an organization.
So what is that?
That's what I want to know.
Okay,
I want to dig into the World Economic Forum.
The World Economic Forum.
Let's look into that. They got
Bono.
Let's just like fuck Bono. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, let's look that up. What is the World Economic Forum? Let's see what that is.
Because I'm sure it sounds on their page. It sounds a lot probably like Scientology, like nice,
right?
You know, it's just good for the people.
So it says our mission. The World Economic
Geneva.
Forum is the international organization for public-private cooperation. The forum engages the foremost political, business, cultural, and other leaders of society to shape global, regional, and industrial agendas.
So the cream of the crop, it's the economically powerful people who want to shape what's good for us, you know, in a sense, because they know what's good for us.
Yeah. Now, it was established in 1971, so it's been around for a while. Nonprofit organization.
Oh, wow.
Nonprofit foundation headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland.
I don't trust Swedish people.
The forum strives in all its efforts to demonstrate entrepreneurship in the global public interest while upholding the highest standards of governance.
That sounds good.
Moral and intellectual integrity is at the heart of everything it does. Right.
Yeah.
Of course. Our activities are shaped by unique institutional culture founded on the stakeholder theory, which asserts that an organization is accountable to all parts of society.
Okay, I'm gonna have to dig into that theory. Just read it, see what it says. Probably like some manifesto.
There's actually a little video here of Professor
Klaus
Schwab.
Klaus. You guys have never heard the word Klaus?
Klaus.
The name's Klaus. It's like I had an old girlfriend that was into the Vampire Diaries, and there was a guy named Klaus. It was like a
Klaus.
Old vampire. He does look like a vampire though, low key, like not a hot one, like an old decrepit looking.
Let me share with you what the World Economic.
Even his voice alone, doesn't it like
like you know who he reminds me of? Remember that the Nightmare Before Christmas, the doctor with a fucking sounds just like him.
Yeah.
The World Economic Forum can be of great service in our complex and fast-changing global system. Let's go back to the origin. In 1970, as a young professor at the University of Geneva, I wrote a book on modern management. I started writing this book asking myself the crucial question, what is the purpose of a corporation? In the book...
Seems like he's going to go into like his personal story or something.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. I'll read the book.
Goals of creating a better world. Fear-mongering about climate change and disease are big goals of theirs. Welcome to Davos. Just park your private jet over there and then go inside and pretend to be...
That's true. How many private jets do you think landed in Sweden that day?
Right. I would say, woo.
Let's look at the list.
Yeah.
Leo, Obama.
Right. I think Biden was there.
Biden was there.
Was that
yeah.
him?
Well, he probably rode with Obama.
Yeah, so some
probably
might have
probably
worked
Hillary
together.
Clinton. I think Hillary
Clinton has to.
Hey,
be
yeah,
there.
she's like
has to be there.
she's like the evil godmother.
Yeah, she's real shady. That Clinton's family's shady.
She's probably a speaker or something.
I wanna like create a book and have her on the front. And it just says shady. I'd read it.
A book of people shady in history. Yeah,
shady
this
people
is why
in
they're
history.
shady.
That could be like a little segment on your show. Shady people of history.
Ooh,
and you get the most like nicest person you wouldn't think be shady, and just put all their shady shit they've done.
Ooh, that's a good one. Hillary would be the first I'd start with.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it'd probably be like a weekly thing.
Yeah.
Accordingly, you'll be excited to hear that the lineup of World Economic Forum speakers at their annual gathering of elites in Davos included such benevolent humanitarians like Xi Jinping, the leader of the Chinese Communist Party, who's currently committing genocide.
That's true. He is currently killing Muslims in China.
Yeah. So, like, how come?
How's China getting away with it?
Yeah,
Because everyone, China owns, like, they're in
Everything.
everybody's pocket. Everybody's in their pocket. You know what China is doing is that, like, they'll, like, these really third world countries, like in Africa, they'll be like, hey, we're going to loan you this ridiculous amount of money at a low interest rate.
Yeah.
And then they slowly build that interest rate until they can't pay it anymore. And then what ends up happening is like, okay, so you can't pay us. So now we own some of this land that, so, like, in a sense, they own
Right.
a big, like, their docks, which if you own the docks, come on, you fucking,
You're running it.
You're running the fucking country.
Well, they send a lot of their people here to come to school, graduate, and then they take everything they know back there.
The long game.
Yeah, like people from like the Middle East, China, Prince's sons are coming here. Like
The Chinese like cultures, and probably one of the oldest cultures like on the planet. You know what I mean? They've been around, and they've been in charge for a long time. There was a weird, I think, kind of awkward around the 17 to 1800s when the Western civilization started doing technology and stuff like that, and they were still kind of really stuck on old ways, and there was kind of like, that's how that balance kind of came into play, and they were like, oh shit. But now, like she said, like, they come here, they learn, like the leader of North Korea, what's his name? Can't remember his name.
the one on the movie,
the fat guy.
Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un. Yeah.
He went to college here.
Yeah.
Like
I didn't know that.
he went to college here.
What the?
There's a reason why Dennis Rodman's his favorite basketball player. Like, he knows our culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he just took it back.
What the heck? I did not know that, bro.
Yeah. That's another person you can do shady.
Yeah.
You're gonna get an email. You're already on a list.
With China too, also with China too, they have that surveillance state going on. So that's another tool to just even that much so keep everybody tight.
They want to do that here too, though. The U.S. wants to do that. Like they're talking about having, the drones.
Yeah.
They just have drones instead of like having so much like police people. Like
they're already doing that because I knew
police
people
drones, and
that
if you
were,
shoot a police drone,
yeah, they were like found like speeding, and a drone was there to catch them.
What?
Yeah, and they had a picture of them like speeding the miles per hour they were at, and they sent the ticket in the mail.
Where was this at? Do you know?
No, but I heard there was a situation that happened like that. Yeah,
crazy.
so
That's
they're already
too
out
much
there.
control. How much control is how much
For
control do you really
security.
need?
Yeah.
How much does our safety cost? Oh, it's for your own good.
They have
Is it,
drones,
though?
like even like when those fireworks were going off like crazy during the pandemic, drones were finding where it was at, and then the cops would show up at the house. Like, hey, we saw that you were throwing fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they were catching people.
The crazy thing that's
'Cause
paired
they
with
gotta
that,
make money.
Yeah.
It's all about money.
it goes back to the AI too, because the AI is the one that's doing the algorithm to identify us with the facial recognition.
Yeah, I don't fuck with that too.
I heard that's a whole like theory.
So-
Like they do all that, the filters, to do that and to
Yeah.
know what you look like.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We're already too deep.
Or
to,
even,
like-
even
We're already
those
too deep.
even those apps that want to show you like making you look older. They're just trying to get an idea of what you're gonna
what
look
you're gonna
like.
look
Yeah.
like. Those 23andMe thing, those gene things to find out. So they're cool. I like it. It's kind of like, oh shit, I didn't know I was like that much Spanish, right?
To track you. No.
But also they found, and they already charged this guy. This girl took a test, and when you sign up for it, they say they could use your thing for whatever. So what happened is a police department realized like, hey, her DNA matches this DNA of a serial killer, like pretty closely they could pinpoint like so close that it's probably a father or uncle or cousin. And they went to go do their research and they dug it up, and yeah, they found the serial killer. It was her uncle. And they charged him, and they took his DNA. They arrested him. They took his DNA, and they're like, boom. I mean, that's cool, right? That's like the good of it, but also they could just use your DNA for anything. You know what I mean? They're like, hey, as soon as you give your DNA to us, we could do whatever we want.
And that's
with
just like the family ancestry thing. Like when they turn in your blood too, there's even questions about, we don't. What are they doing with that really? Like
we don't know.
A whole database of them knowing your family history.
Yeah.
They just know it. I'm like, how do you guys know? Who does this research?
It's just paperwork, man. It's just paperwork.
Yeah.
I mean, the FBI originally the FBI were just accountants. They weren't like the FBI that we know today. They were just people who were like nerds, in a nicest way to put it. They were nerds that really, really detailed about paperwork.
And oh, go ahead. Yeah.
No, yeah, they were just really detailed about paperwork, and they'd find, they found a receipt or something like that, and they're like, this is where they're gonna be, shit like that. But go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say I really had. Let me be careful with my words here. Like for example, Snowden came out. Remember when he gave up NSA about what they were doing, and what happened to him? He had to go to Russia.
Yeah,
he's still there.
He's still there. Yeah,
yeah, he had to take it for the team basically, and forever live out in Russia.
That sucks. I would hate to. I don't know. I'm sure there's nice parts of Russia.
Yeah, I'm sure maybe, but still, either way, it kind of sucks because you can never really come back.
Yeah, you can't come back.
Yeah, so even that, he kind of blew it all up. But I don't know if he would do it again. Will you think he would do it again? Because what did it really change?
I think it didn't change much, but I think he would do it again.
Because like we all know, but could anybody really do anything about it? It didn't change anything.
The one thing if you want to see change, you gotta change like yourself. That's the biggest thing.
Right.
Like one thing I noticed, what I personally want to work on is learn how to like survive out in the wild for a fucking week. You know what I mean? Like California's not the harshest weather. You know what I mean? But things could go real bad real fast. So.
Well, I think
it'd
things
be nice.
Didn't like change like that we know of. We don't know what's going on in the back end with the information he like leaked.
True.
So it could have led to where we're at. We don't know.
True. That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
So.
I like that viewpoint. That's very smart.
Yeah. But I'm like you too. Like you kind of want to know how to be self-sufficient.
Yeah,
in some
because
sense
that's the last thing that the government wants is like I said, we were on that subject earlier.
Yeah.
They want you paying. They want your money some way or somehow, even if you're providing for yourself. Like it's if you have your own running water or your own well, it's like why, why are you going to question me? Why are you like I just think that's really suspect. So that's something personally that we could work on.
Yeah. Yeah, learning how to be self-sufficient.
I grow. I've been trying, meaning like to have conversations with people who say like their front lawns. I think it would be totally against what they like, the government wants if, let's say, a small community front lawns were just dedicated to like a straight like veggies, like just everyone in this block grows their own thing, and it's a specific thing, and they all just switch. Like, hey, I need tomatoes. It's like they don't want you relying on like what I mean. They're like it's the more self-sufficient we are, the less power and control they have.
Right.
So
then it kind of comes back to me being like, well, then just be wealthy so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Because there's wealthy people that I had friends that there's this guy, his name's John Shin, and like he owns the Jabberwockies, he owns several dance teams.
He owns the Jabberwockies.
He owns the Jabberwockies.
So he's a slave labor trade. Okay.
Yeah, for the most part. Just kidding.
Imagine you can have the Jabberwocky show up.
Yeah. No, but he owns like them. He owns several dance crews. He like he's pretty wealthy and up there.
How do you own a dance crew?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
He bought them. Yeah. So he lives in Calabasas, and he threw a baby shower for a friend. He's someone in our industry too. But he was giving like.
What's your industry? Oh, you're the friend in your industry.
Insurance.
You sell insurance? I like. It's like I don't know you. Some games.
Yeah. I sell insurance. Yes.
Oh, got you.
So he was giving a house tour to some of the guests, and he has bomb shelters with those like bomb ass guns. Like he has everything, and he pretty much was like, yeah, I have like there's people in like within the circle that are wealthy too, that have their own bomb shelters. They have their own sustainable like spot in case something happens. So
like doomsday preppers.
Exactly.
I mean, you have enough money, you can have that. You can have your any hobby that you like.
Yeah.
And if I was wealthy enough, I'm pretty sure I would have like a nice little.
Yeah, I'd have like a
cabin
thing
in
of
the
guns
woods.
too. I'd be like, I'm not trying to be in the purge.
Just like
Nah,
Yeah.
just like in Judgment Day 2, you know how she takes Terminator and
Yeah.
her son to that little
Yep.
yeah, that was
Exactly.
basement with all these guns.
And they're just sitting there. Low key, I don't know. Like what's sad is like by nature we're very, it is survival of the fittest, just in general, in nature, not just human nature.
If you just take it to
You
bare
just
bones.
bare bones. Like if, like nature's fucking gnarly as shit. People there's like people. It's dog eat dog out there.
Yeah.
And as far as the animal kingdom, and I mean, at the end of the day, we're all animals.
How do you think we got to this point that we are now, like as a human race? Because there was a point when we weren't this advanced, obviously. So how did it get? What was the one thing that changed where we started picking up faster?
I mean,
I think we always were.
It's
just happening. It's feeling like it's happening quicker.
Do you know why we were the most dominant hunters? Like things that we could kill mammoths.
Why?
It's not that we're built like super crazy strong. Not saying we were endurance hunters. We would hunt you down until that whatever animal, doesn't matter if it was a mammoth or a tiger or a lion or whatever, we'd hunt you down and chase you until you were exhausted. Mm-hmm. So that's how it was. It's a marathon. You know what I mean? We hunt you down until you couldn't run no more. Then we kill you. We chop you into little pieces, and go take it back to the tribe, and that's how we would survive. Right. So like they say Neanderthals actually needed 30 to 40% more carbohydrates and protein than we did. Mm-hmm. And so they're saying that's why the Homo sapiens survived, because realistically we don't need that much. Mm. We need 30 to 40%. We needed 30 to 40% less than they did. Yeah. And we needed less water. Even though we do sweat and we like all that, and we do, we get dehydrated. Right. We still needed less water than them. So when, say, like a natural catastrophe happened, and animals went away and they couldn't hunt, and then they died off because they starved, while we didn't need as much. So, I mean, that's crazy how humans kind of developed that way. But crazy. Yeah, we're marathon hunters. Yeah, that sounds like a cool show, Marathon Hunters.
Yeah, it does.
So it's just
Pretty interesting stuff. I don't know. I think we're good with this video. I think we can stop here because it is pretty lengthy.
Yeah.
And we might have to continue on that video another day. Or
no,
something.
I would love to do this again. It's always a good time.
Yeah, we covered a lot. I think from what I've learned from so far watching this video is we can only really change what we have control of, right, which is really kind of ourselves.
Michael Jackson, man in the mirror.
That's the only thing really that we can change or make better, because there's obviously a lot of players in the game here, and we're talking about the cream of the crop of this, organization, this nonprofit, and their agendas of what they're doing, and
I think I was gonna say one thing we could do as just us, like. Yeah. We have to establish our own tribe, in the sense that, a lot of people don't trust each other. A lot of people don't work together. But if you did, and you network between the right people, you could do big things.
Yes, I agree with you.
You could do big things. So, like you mentioned, Brooke at the beginning, talented. You know what I mean? Just always making moves. So it's just really, talented. I just got introduced to Cynthia. So it's just like, we could start making steps to work on ourselves individually by helping each other out, so.
Yeah, that's dope. I like that, bro.
So we'll see where we go. Yeah. We're still young as far as like an age group. We're still in the like early to mid 30s, and let's see what we can do.
That's a good point, bro. Yeah. I like that. All right. So I want to thank you guys again for joining me, Cynthia. Thank you, Matt, for joining me today on this discussion. Everybody else, thank you guys for listening and tuning in. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Because I know, Cynthia, you got things going on too that maybe could put a plug in for if people want to like get involved with anything you have going on. You could go ahead and plug that, and then I'll give Matt an opportunity.
Oh, right now?
Yeah. Go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. Okay, so Instagram, CM Penados. I don't know if you're going to link it or not, or if you're going to link our information.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah, so my background's in helping people save money, make money, lower their impact of taxes. I help people from like understanding how their retirement works to having something supplemental in creating extra income through getting involved in our business, or also on a referral basis. I'm looking for people to help become financially free and also use our platform to create their own lifestyle, become a better person, and follow stronger leadership roles that will benefit where they're at currently in their careers, or want to learn that in a business. So that's what I do. I mean, I have the information to give. If that's you, then just connect with Isaiah with that.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I would say I have my IG handle. Most people know it's just Matt_Lazarus88. You can find me there. I'm an entertainer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm here to entertain. But as far as like connections go, I do have I have an OnlyFans, but it's not what you think. Okay, it's just like kind of therapeutic. As far as like, think of therapy, but much way cheaper. Think about like $5 a pop instead of spending $300 an hour. You know,
I see.
You just need somebody to talk to. You need some advice. Hey, but what do I know? You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'll put that plug in later. I'll just send it to you.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good. All right. Thank you guys for listening. Hope you guys have a nice day and take care.